Welcome to week 15 of Shadowguard. I got the number right. I almost forgot it, even though I was told it like 20 minutes ago.
Hello, you told me the number 2 minutes ago.
I did. And it's all thanks to Jazzy because she's the one who pays attention to the actual numbers. So,
Jazzy's the one who can count that high.
that's a possibility. I figured out why I kept looking up instead of the side. There we go. Sure, we are back. We missed last week. Some things came up. But we have everybody here today, which is great. Charlie, announcements. You got any?
So after this week, actually a better way to say this, Shadowguard next week, by the day we stream, which will probably be Wednesday is what it's looking like, right?
Mm-hmm.
We haven't decided yet for sure, but it looks like Shadowguard's going to switch to Wednesdays for at least a month, maybe longer. So we'll be on Wednesday nights, probably at the same time. I don't know. We have to talk about it. But by next Wednesday, we will be fully up to date with our backlog of episodes on YouTube. You'll be able to watch Shadowguard 1 through 15 by next week, which will be great. Right now, it's only episode 1, 2, and 3, so that's a huge leap forward. Any people that want to catch up, go back. If you're watching this on YouTube right now, we have a playlist for it, so check it out. Beyond that, no. Hi. Hello, welcome to the stream.
All right, cool. Yep. So, should we switch in the day? Other than that, I don't really have any announcements. So, I think what we're going to do, we're going to kind of go back through what we've been trying to stick to. Is we're going to reintroduce our characters each session at the start of them, give a little bit of background on how our character feels potentially, or at least describe them. So, the first person we're going to do is Magnus.
Hello. I am Magnus Munch, the gnomish necromancer. Let's see. What should I say about Magnus? I'm a goodly necromancer. I wear a large top hat, and I have a bulging eye and a black scruffy beard. I'm dirtier and not as well put together as a lot of other gnomes. And yeah, I'm just interested in studying the arcane, studying the undead, and learning about medical science. That's about it.
Cool. Okay, let's go ahead and go with Luke next.
Yes. So my character is Luke Warmwater. He is a halfling artificer.
Are you sure?
He shoots first, asks questions later, which has not done well for him. He believes lying is an art that you need to practice daily in order to be good at.
Okay.
And he's still surprised people let him do stuff.
Sounds great. Elle, you are up.
I'm Elle Clark. I'm a roguish human. Can I say roguish? Is that a thing?
You're rouge, yes.
Yeah. You're roguish as fuck.
I literally have nothing better to say than I'm the tallest person on the team.
That is the most important thing to point out.
That's true.
And the most mature.
I mean, probably. Well, maybe. I don't know. Magnus is like he's pretty up there.
For maturity? No. I think he likes to pretend like he is. I think he's good at,
He might be wise, but he is not mature.
Okay,
I think
fair enough.
Magnus is, yeah.
We flash back to Magnus and just destroying a bird.
I mean, like, I wonder what happens if I do. Oh, no.
Mature. Okay, so Glad, why don't we go with you? You are our guest. Tell us about your character.
So, I'm Glad Rocksmacker, a dwarf. I am
Best dwarf.
best dwarf. I mean, best race, right?
Subjective concept there.
Class-wise, I'm a ranger. I'm a pretty short, stout dwarf at 4'1". I'm wearing, my fancy red armor. But other than that, underneath it's pretty dirty and ratty, especially when we're on the road. Get to cities, I put on my nicer clothes.
Okay.
To represent the Reds, but
I like it. Okay. Well, I don't know if you guys actually remember what happened last time in our last session, but everything went to shit. So, you guys we'll go kind of back on a quick, bigger recap of it. Glod showed up at the Shadowguard, requesting some assistance from the group to hunt a vampire in Davenport. And on the way, you stopped over in Ostwald, where they seem to be having some orc issues and skeletons that are coming up at night. In the last session, you solved the skeleton problem by Luke figuring out that whenever Aziz, which is a dragonborn, he was the town master, the mayor, fell asleep, these skeletons rose from the ground. Old ones, new ones, the orcs that were just killed recently were rising. Not really doing anything, they just kind of wandered around and just attacked whatever came near, including buildings and other random objects. Wasn't a big deal. You found out that the orcs were looking for a book, and they even offered you if you gave them the book, they let the town be free. Which, Magnus, you learned they were offering. They said that you could stay alive. They made mentions of a sacrifice. Give me half a second.
A sacrifice?
Yeah, it was mentioned, Magnus, that the town will make a good sacrifice at a later time. When you were talking to the orc chief.
I don't really remember that, but let me make a note. Also, next question. Did we find out the name of that orc tribe? I know they were Greyskins, right?
You did not find out the name, no. You do know that they had a sigil on them of a bat with red eyes, like ruby-colored
which
eyes.
was Raxus's symbol.
Right.
They also told us that they work for Eleanor.
They did. They made mention of her and how she was very unhappy with Magnus constantly interfering. At least the Shadowguard itself constantly interfering. So we dropped someone for a second. Cameras we fixed once he rejoins. So I apologize for the second here.
Right back.
Yeah, he should be. So yeah, you ended up giving the spell book with a bunch of ripped out pages that Luke ripped out, trying just to give them just the spells. And in doing so, they found out, and that we found out that reason was because this orc was communicating with Eleanor or Raxus or someone like that was able to determine that what they were looking for wasn't in the book. You eventually gave up, or you were required to give up Aziz and the book to prevent to protect the town itself, which you guys did. To Aziz's, he didn't really agree with the plan. Eventually, you guys gave him no choice.
In my opinion, Aziz's own hubris is what got him captured by the orcs, not us.
Yeah, it definitely wasn't Luke.
That guy turned out to be an asshole.
Yes,
anyway.
he did.
No,
Why would you blame me? I didn't do anything wrong at that time.
So
I believe it was Magnus that threw one on the table, if I remember correctly.
100%.
he did.
I tried to offer a redemption.
But, I mean, had the book just been completely whole, maybe they never would have asked for him. They did detect the locator spell you tried putting on it with Frukar. And we're still in town. You guys rested for the night and we're getting ready to leave in the morning. You got your experience and all that type of stuff. I think what we first see as the session starts is it kind of fading in the inn, which is the Wicked something or other. I can't remember what it is off the top of my head. I'm not looking it up right now. But you're in with Frukar like walking through the door and like looking for the group. And he spies you all sitting down there eating something, having some pudding, coffee, maybe a little thimble of brandy for the early morning after a long night. And he comes up to you and goes, "Okay, I sent some animals out after the book. We may hear back. I may need to track it myself. Do you know how long you plan on needing me to do this?"
So before I speak to him, we're still in...
You're still in Ostwald. This is like the morning after the raid.
Okay.
So it's been like about a day and a half. Not like
Okay.
12 hours.
The inn was the sleeping wench, by the way.
Thank you.
So yeah, he comes in and says that, and Magnus is like,
Well, I'm not quite sure. I can't say how long it'll be or how far they'll go. I'll give you 50 gold and travel for as many days as you can handle and as many as you can pay for with that money, I suppose. No longer than a fortnight.
Yes, that should not be a problem. From the information I've gotten so far, they're heading north along the river. I suspect they'll probably continue to head north and branch off from that point, and we'll see where they go.
Sure, but Frukar, if you do this, this is a great favor to the Shadowguard and your village. So
They
just
they owe me. They stole everything from my shop. This will be
They
good, sweet
did?
revenge.
I can't believe it. You know, when we came looking for you, we saw that your shop had been ransacked. I didn't realize. I'm sorry.
It's okay. This, as he kind of holds the money he gave him, will at least help me get back and get back to start. And if they didn't steal so many potions and all my other ingredients, I'd probably be okay right now.
Well, I'm happy to help, but listen, before you go, they are aware of the mark on the book. You must be careful. It's ripe for a trap.
It's good to know.
Are
Please
we
don't.
Everybody's there.
there?
Everybody's there right now. You're all eating breakfast.
Can I like pipe up maybe?
Yeah.
You seem to be a good person, and you have 50 more gold for your trouble.
Thank you.
Thank you, El. That's very noble.
It's very generous. It'll definitely help me get back on my feet.
That that's very generous. I think I'll double down on that there, and
How much you giving him?
100 gold.
Okay. So you guys can see I got 200 gold sitting here. He goes, "Wow, I never expected such generosity from the Shadowguard. Thank you. I will do
we're
my
here to
best
help
to
you.
make you all proud."
Magnus like kind of turns around and mumbles under his breath and is like,
I hope he doesn't die. I hope that was enough gold. I don't.
Yeah.
So I have a question.
Sure. I think if you guys want anything for Frukar, he's in set. He goes, "Okay, I will be off. I will send a raven or a bird to inform you of what I find."
So can I ask a quick question?
Yeah.
Did I steal over 100 gold worth of stuff?
Oh yeah. I mean, L's potions alone were probably like 400 or 500 gold.
Oh, okay. But I stole like 100 something gold worth of materials.
No, you definitely sold more than 100 and something stuff. Those are materials that make the potions that L has.
Oh, well. Okay. Yeah, enough.
So,
I don't feel bad giving 100 gold now.
okay.
Kind of paying for it on deep discount.
That's how you justify it, huh? Okay. All right. So Frukar, he heads off to go do his thing. And you're all sitting around the table right now, eating your food and doing what. So you guys have anything to talk about with each other while you're just inside the inn, which is mainly empty. The innkeeper himself isn't there. You're not sure, maybe he died in the combat overnight, or if he's just out doing something else and working and not worrying about his tavern just yet.
hmm.
Mhm.
I don't know. I feel like after all this like bullshit that we just went through, I feel like Magnus is just like has a bowl of like cold porridge, and he's just like hunched over it, and he's just like eating it and not saying anything or looking at anyone. Just like, man, fuck this. This has turned out to be awful.
Is that kind of everybody's kind of mood for this like morning after?
Pretty much, we're just eating. I don't know.
You pudding there? So you got some pudding.
Hanging out like
It's breakfast pudding.
it's like everything's falling down around us and it's cleaning up.
The inn is caving in.
What about you, Glod?
So, I'm after the night before. There was a good bit of drinking. We did good work. So I'm moving a bit slow this morning.
Feeling a little bit.
Just a little bit. But it was a good night.
Okay. And Elle, what about you? How are you feeling with the situation? What are you doing this morning at breakfast time, minus giving some gold and feeling a little guilty with Frukar?
Yeah, basically, I'm just like drowning in guilt from Frukar and like the encounters that we've had after raiding the alchemist shop. And so, I'm probably just chilling, like
Oh, what did I do?
somewhere. Hating myself.
Why did I go back to my old ways?
I'm just gonna look at her and smile and nod.
Yeah, you get a slight like side nod from Luke when you look up and see him. He eats a nice big old spoonful of pudding.
Hmm.
Okay. Do you guys discuss what your plan is? Oh, if you want, go ahead, Luke.
Oh, I was just gonna say, I'm doing it coyly, so you're not sure whether it was about the robbery that we just did, or if it was about the pudding. Just some coy like that, you're not quite sure.
So, do you guys discuss on what you're going to be doing next with the planets? Because you still have to go to Davenport. There's still a vampire that's loose in that area. What do you guys like? Do you talk about anything, or you guys just like kind of solemnly get ready to like get into the cart and go?
I think Magnus would turn and ask Glod, like, how many days trip do we have left to get there?
I'm gonna rough it. I'm not gonna actually count it right now, but you have somewhere probably around. It's 2 weeks normally from Whiteboro to Davenport. You probably have like 8 or so days, a little over a week.
Bit over a week. Shouldn't be too bad.
If you take the road.
Which I think we're
Magnus.
planning on.
Yeah, Magnus is kind of just like,
Okay.
There's some inns on the way. We'll be good. Couple drinks.
I could use a good bed and a day or two without having to draw a weapon. I hate all of this fighting.
Well, I can't guarantee any fighting, but
Good, I don't want any fighting.
we'll be on the road, so should be at a minimum.
Let's keep our noses clean for a few days.
Okay.
Well, that's a little less than fun, but
Magnus like mumbles under his breath.
Maybe for a dwarf.
racist.
Okay. So I guess we kind of fade out on that little conversation and fade back in as you guys are getting ready. You're at like the gate, to the south, well, technically the west part of Oswald. Everything's packed up. Magnus, Glod, you notice it's slightly less roomy in the tiny house. There's a lot of extra supplies, it seems.
Stuff?
Supplies.
Stuff? It's
Stuff.
called stuff.
Stuff. Within it, but I mean, you still have a place to sit here and there. Manage your bed. Looks like it's been like there's just a bunch of like other like supplies, like extra bed sheets and like flint and tinder boxes and all sorts of stuff on like your mattress and whatnot.
My mattress is completely clean, by the way.
It is.
Nothing on it, properly turned down and everything.
So my mattress is full of,
Of just
garbage. is what you're
stuff.
No, not garbage. It's
Supplies.
useful, just not right now.
Magnus, I guess, would probably look at it. This is like the stuff you stole, right?
You
Out
know
of
I
character.
He-
stole
Out of
it.
character.
he
Yeah, this
obtained.
is the shit I stole. 5-finger discounted, okay? I got it
Five
legally on discount. 5-finger
I paid-
wise.
I paid for it. It was free $3.99.
I think it was a 4-arm deal.
So I think Magnus would see all of it and be like,
Luke,
You know.
why is
Yeah?
where did all of these things come from? Why is my
You know, I've
mattress
been making some, acquisitions here and there while we're around, and I've been keeping them in my bag. I just haven't gotten around to cleaning it out.
acquisitions?
Yeah, like acquiring new items. Doing some, deals, some trading, stuff like that.
Magnus picks up like a wooden duck decoy, and I'm like,
What do you need this for?
and like I
You
pick up.
Bird
never know
hunting.
when you want to, make it into a hat there, and then like poke out of the water, and get that real stealth action there.
Okay,
Not
and
everything
then-
has to be about the formal use.
Magnus like holds up like a lady's boot that doesn't have a pair, and I'm like, and this?
I kind of got that out of a river one day when I was fishing.
Luke, are you?
Yeah.
Are you lying to me again?
Do you
I've
want to
learned
roll
that,
an insight
lying
versus deception?
No. First I want to see what he says.
Okay, go.
I learned that lying is not a good thing, so, there's that. And, I gotta get back to organizing my stuff. Goes back, leaves the conversation, try to
He's trying to walk away from
just
it.
leave the conversation. Yeah.
I guess are we riding in our cart at this point?
You're getting
On
ready,
the
like
way.
you're getting ready to leave when this is just starting to happen. Like this is right as you guys are getting ready to leave the gate.
Okay, as soon as like the horse pulls away, or actually I guess since it's before the
Jericho.
horse pulls away, Magnus as Luke kind of deflects the conversation. Magnus is like,
Okay, I think I'm gonna ride up top with Elle and Glod.
That's a great idea there. Can I use your storage space underneath your bed there? I didn't touch it quite yet, but, I kind of need it.
Magnus is like,
Yeah, sure.
and like in his head he's like thinking like, is there a dead torso in there or not?
Shit.
But he says yes anyway.
Yeah, sure, whatever. Anything you find in there, just throw away. Okay.
I open the drawer. What do I find in there?
There's
What would be in there?
not a torso.
Great. Everything on his bed goes into there.
Nice. Now you have a bed.
So Magnus lets himself out the back of the tiny house covered cart. And like I walk around, Magnus like walks around to the front of the cart and like pulls himself up the step to like the carriage area where you drive, so the carriage driver sits. I'm assuming Elle and Glod are packing up or sitting there getting ready to head out.
Preparing, yeah.
And Magnus is like,
Hey guys, we need to talk.
About what?
And I was like, well, I was in the tiny house just now, and Luke just had
Oh.
piles of junk. I mean, not junk, inventory. I don't know what else to say. Supplies, things he doesn't need, just random goods piled up, filling the car. I mean, it's an incredible amount of stuff.
We literally have a quick flash of Luke trying to pull out like 5-10-foot ladders out of his bag of holding to find a place to set in there, but not room, so he puts them all back in.
It does seem he has a whole shop down there.
So how much is like from the general store that he stole everything from? And
All of it's from the
alchemist
general.
shop then?
Almost all of everything that's right now inside there is the general store for the most part. There's like nothing.
Or
in the-
alchemy shop.
Yeah, I mean a good chunk of it is. There's more general store than there's alchemy.
I'm gonna keep the alchemy in the back because they all know about the alchemy store.
That makes sense.
I'm not gonna show anybody that.
Yeah, none of us know about the general store, right?
Correct.
so Magnus says to Elle, like, and he looks to Elle in particular and says,
I think he's been stealing and lying to us about it.
Stealing? Like, where would he have got the time to do that?
I mean, he did leave us alone for quite a few hours in the night during the orc raid. Would have been a perfect time for him to ransack that filthy little bugger. I wouldn't put it past him.
Maybe you're right. Are we still in the town, or are we?
You're.
Like,
I mean, at this point, maybe you're like getting going, Glad. You're like
we're like
on
pulling
top.
out
Exiting
down the
the
road.
gate.
Yeah, you're glad you're on top of the tiny house, or you're inside, like with Luke now at this point. As Magnus and Elle are like in the front of the cart with Jericho.
If you like are outside, that's fine. Like Magnus would be talking to you about
Could
it
be
as well,
walking
Glad.
or yeah.
Yeah. So Magnus says to Elle, he's like,
I think it's time we have a talk with Luke. I mean, first there was the farmer, which I've moved past. I understand that was an accident on his part, but the stealing and the lying is a problem, don't you think, Elle?
stealing. Sometimes it's necessary to happen. I can't look at you guys and talk, or else I'm
I
gonna
mean, that's
laugh.
fine. Don't. It adds to the I'm not lying. Not at all.
Deflecting is not lying. Just remember that.
Yes.
Stealing is, sometimes you have to do what you have to do. I mean, like, was it a lot? Was it really a lot? I mean, like, could we get on? Like, could other people get on without it? Like, was it really a lot?
Magnus, you're kind of getting the feeling L's a little.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna make you
obvious. So
roll.
Magnus like tilts his head to the side and looks at you, L, and I'm like, and he says,
L, what's wrong with you?
I'm just curious. Like, haven't we been a little hard on him? Like, he's just a little guy. He's just trying to be helpful
L,
to the group.
Stop the cart, please.
If
I
he
like
keeps,
grab.
Does it?
Oh, go ahead. Go
Please
ahead, Glad.
stop.
if he keeps helping in this way in Davenport, I might help him into the ocean.
It's a lake, but yeah.
Lake,
So Magnus
body of water.
When Glad says that, that's the final straw. Magnus reaches across and like grabs the reins out of L's hands and like pulls them back and then says,
Jericho, whoa!
and like pulls the cart to a
Luke,
stop.
you kind of stump. Give me a acrobatics check as you're like getting ready to put some stuff on like a shelf. You catch it and you don't. Nothing falls over. You catch like a jar that's about to smash on the ground.
Poke
But
my
the
head out,
cart
like,
the cart
"Oh,
stops abruptly.
Hey, why didn't you, try to tell people before you stopped that cart there so abruptly? It's
He's
kind
hanging out the
a
window.
rude thing to do.
So Magnus ignores him, jumps off the cart, walks around back, whips the door open. It's daytime. What's the weather
Staring
like?
at
Is it
him.
It's actually the
sunny
storm
out?
is past, so I mean it's a little cloudy, but it's not like dark rain clouds. It's just and the ground itself is wet. Actually, while you get off, Magnus, would you please give me a perception check? Really fast.
Yes. Where is my character sheet? Oh, am I in the wrong window here? I am. Sorry, 1 second.
When you step off, you splash into a puddle. You start stomping back towards the back of the tiny house, and you think you catch something like for a split second in the corner of your eye. You're not quite sure what it was. Like you kind of look around, see nothing, and then you go to the back and you open the door.
So I just like never mind it. Can I go?
Yeah, like you
investigate
may you're not sure if you like. It's like maybe I saw something, but now it's probably nothing, kind of thing.
more? Where was it? It was like outside the cart.
Yeah, it was not in the car. It was like you stepped off, and like when you were looking, like when you kind of like your eyes were going to the ground. You like when you hit the ground, like you're kind of like looking back up. You thought you spied something for like a split second. You're not exactly sure where it was, but it was back behind you on the ground or like through the tree line. It was just a quick little like thing.
I think I would just shake it off, not even
Yeah.
investigate it, probably. So Magnus throws the door open, and is like,
Okay, it's time we all had a talk. I'm like, L, you need to come here now. I'm like, Claude, you should probably be here to mediate this.
L, how do you?
Sure
you need
thing
me.
there. As I like push him out of the way of the door and close it behind me, so we're not talking.
So
you can't see in the
I
cart now.
squat in front of the thing, and it's like, so what do you want to chat about there?
oh, hold on a half a second. L, how do you like? Do you like sulkily get up off like the front of the cart and like walk with your head down? How does it look? And what are you thinking as you're walking towards Magnus and Luke in the back of the cart?
I'm definitely very guilt-ridden, and I'm like a balloon. So like, if he pokes me a little bit, I'll probably pop.
For a con artist, he seemed very willing to give up things. So, all right. So yeah, you walk over. She looks very like her face is a little beet red, head down. Luke, like you get a look, even just looking at it, you're like, oh shit. Magnus, L shows up. Glod, do you go or do you stay in the front?
I go.
Okay, so then Glod comes around the other side as you all meet up.
So I see L's beat red face, and I'm like,
Luke, look at her. Look at her face.
and then I'm
Yeah,
like,
it looks like she's gotten a little too much sun there. It's
I was
probably
like,
in a couple of days.
Cut it out, Luke. Look me in the eye and tell me what kind of trouble you got her into.
First off, there, I don't tell people what decisions they can and cannot do. All right. If somebody chooses to do something, it's not always my fault.
Not
It's
always
kind of
my
like how
fault.
you choose to, I don't know,
Kill my
dig
bird.
through, the remains of a certain individual. Leave them everywhere, strung about, creating a foul stench in the house. I don't judge you for that. So why are you pointing their fingers at me there?
Magnus is like,
Fair point, Luke. Luke, tell me what she's so embarrassed about. What is she feeling? What are you guilty about?
and I'm assuming like L is just red. I'm like,
Or L, you could just tell me. I think everyone's got some fessing up to do. I was like, we need to cut that shit out now.
and I like slap the back of the cart. I'm like,
I think Magnus. I think it's as I look at Al, I think she's embarrassed because she has a little crush on you. As I like nod gently to her as he's not looking at me.
I think Alan does the exact like, ah, God face.
Magnus is like,
but I actually know Magnus as I pat him on the back.
I'm like,
That's enough. I've had enough of this. We need to settle our differences now, or I'm walking back to Whiteboro, and we shan't be a party any longer. We all need to stop lying to each other. We must stop stealing from each other and others. We're here to protect the good, to do good. So, Luke, where did you steal the items that you have in the cart?
First off, I didn't steal anything. I acquired them, just like I told you.
During the raid?
It's been so long I can't remember.
Give me a deception check with disadvantage,
I like a disadvantage.
because I feel like it's very fuzzy at this point.
Just give me disadvantage. I should just have a regular roll.
That's fine.
without
Just
advantage.
make the roll. Okay. L, will you give me a wisdom saving throw?
yes.
Okay. Okay, so Elia, you hear him say, I don't remember, it's been so long. And for a second, you really feel like blurting it out that you were with him when he stole this, like you stole the, like not, you didn't mention, like, you were going to say, like, I stole the potions, but you hold it just back in, just tight to your chest before you blurt it out. As Magnus, it seems that, at least in your opinion, Luke he's not telling the whole truth.
He's just,
definitely, he's trying to
Magnus is
deflect like he
trying to
normally
have a
does.
I'm trying to have a straight conversation with him, and he won't talk straight back to me. So when I sense that lie there, Magnus just says,
That's it.
and I just like throw my backpack on the ground, like pick my fucking spell book up, just like leave 90% of my junk, and just start walking back towards town.
No. Okay, Magnus, come here, Magnus. Come here, come back here.
Do you turn back
Magnus-
around or you keep walking?
He turns around and gives an incredulous look over his shoulder, and I'm like,
No,
So-
I've put up with too much. Unless we can all be friends.
To
and
be-
honest.
To be fair, there, we're all kind of like butt heads from time to time. Sometimes you do some creepy things, and we kind of let you just go with the flow there. I've always thought you were kind of a forgiving man there in that regard. So you can forgive whatever I've done in the past, and just from this point forward, anything that's happened, we'll address it as it comes along. Does that sound kind of more fair to you?
No. You have to tell me. Say you stole those things, because you did.
First off, there, have you ever stolen anything?
Sure, I've stolen plenty in my life, but not anymore. Not as an adult.
So there you go. Not as an adult. You've
Not since
never taken anything without asking.
No. That's impolite.
Do I sense he's telling the truth?
Didn't we take the book?
We did kind of steal the book.
That's a little different.
It's in a sense of you guys took
I
the book
obviously-
for the okay, that's just pulling for
Yeah,
we're
I
pull-
obviously wasn't stealing the book for my own
Yes.
personal gain or material wealth. I was trying to save a town.
slightly different.
Slightly. Potato.
Magnus is like,
If you can't say it, I'm going.
So, okay, first off, there, that's kind of unfair to me. I've acquired
So,
these
hold on.
items.
Before You even like continue to we let Magnus kind of walk away for a split second. I actually want to hear maybe the slight conversation because that guilt is still racking back up more and more with you. So I want to know, like, as Magnus starts to walk away, do you like look and speak to Luke and like try to fix this? Does Glad, do you speak up in any of this? I want to know kind of what's going on with the rest group as Magnus kind of starts taking a few steps.
So I'm waiting back, giving Elle space because I think it's more important for her to say what she needs to say.
Okay. And I mean, this could be out loud to everybody. This could be just a whisper to Luke. You could run after Magnus. What do you do?
Luke, are you sure that you can't just admit that you took some things? I'm sure that we did not get those.
You know, okay, fine. Okay, you got me there, Magnus. I stole these things there, but I'm not returning them.
That's a little better. Now, one more thing. You must promise to quit lying to me, to Elle, to Glad. You can lie to anyone else, but you don't lie to us. We're a team.
You know, that's fair, but I ask one favor in return that you don't always have to ask me a question when you already know the answer there. Okay, that's unfair.
Agreed, but that's a two-way street, Luke. You can't always assume,
that's why
you can't always assume I know what's going on when you're pulling some shady dealings.
You know, that's fair.
Magnus like spits like in his hand and reaches out.
Shake on it.
I go into the thing, rummage around, get a knife, blood pack, send a dripping hand of blood.
All right, so yeah, I think in that case, Magnus would. Do I have a spell I can cut my finger with that would be cool for flavor?
I don't know.
Cry fire. Oh, it's gonna be a painful handshake.
No, not really. Nope. I guess I could use a little ray of frost on my own hand.
Frostbite.
Okay.
I don't know. I think I have a dagger. I pull out my dagger and prick my finger, and I like rub it across my palm, and like reach out and we like do a slap handshake.
We do have you ever seen Predator? The whole. Like,
yeah, totally.
But it's too short, super short people doing it, which makes it funny because there's just Elle is just towering over both of you when this happens in the background.
Then I'm gonna turn to Elle as soon as that happens. I'm like,
Now that that's settled, I'm gonna be like, Elle, what did you do?
You know, first off, you're asking a question you already know the answer to. I let them continue the conversation.
I'd like to start by saying I got caught up in, trying to bond with Luke and who I used to be, and just
Continue.
I may have gone into the alchemy shop and taken the thing.
Magnus is like,
Good.
Well,
Thank you, Elle.
Close his door.
you do?
Wait in this conversation, I'm leaving it.
Oh no.
Well, before you leave, I'm gonna be like,
Good. Now that everything's out in the open, unless there's anything else you want to tell me, Luke.
and I turn and like you already have like the doors closing
Close
shut.
door.
So I'm gonna go around to the front of the cart and like knock on the little window
Yeah.
between
Close the
front.
drapes.
Luke's embarrassed, it seems.
I'm gonna be like,
Yeah.
Luke, what did we just talk about? Just get it in the air. Just tell me. Put it out there. Did you rob the alchemy shop with Elle? She says you did.
What?
You're already breaking the rule there of asking questions you already know the answer to. Closes the blinds completely and locks the.
I think you got your
doors
answer
so
there,
we can
Magnus,
bother him.
with a slight embarrassment on Luke's part at the same time.
So Magnus is gonna turn back to Elle and be like,
So, I understand your past, Elle. And I understand sometimes the need to take things that don't belong to us. But please, you put us in jeopardy by doing that.
I paid some gold back.
And I appreciate that. I want to see you moving away from your past, whatever it might be.
Of course, I don't know what came over me.
Good. I'm feeling a little better. I just hope Luke follows through on his promises. Thank you, Ella. I'm sorry to put you on the spot.
It was necessary.
I think so.
Then like I'm gonna walk around slowly to the front of the cart, climb back up, like lean back, kick my feet up on the yoke, and like just tip my top hat over my face and be like,
Let's kill some fucking vampires.
and then take a nap.
Okay. Ellen and Glad, you're still both in the back behind the cart. Guys, say anything? What do you do?
Speaking of vampires, I need to make sure I can trust you to do what I tell you when we're in Davenport. Back there in Linwall, that wasn't my mission, but this is my name and reputation on the line.
Who's looking at you, Al?
I will try to follow your lead as best as I can, as long as it's not going to put me or the rest of the party in too much danger.
Putting you in danger means putting me in danger, and I don't particularly want to die. You know, I still have scars that are healing on me from my last run in Davenport, so
Then I suppose we're on the same page.
Okay.
works for me.
You guys both walk. Elle goes back to driving the cart. Glad, and you go either in or out or wherever you wish to be. And we
You're
can.
gonna have to knock them in.
That's true. If otherwise, you can maybe just sit in the back of the steps into the cart. But yeah, we kind of get a view of the group. Riding along between Oswald and Linwall on the journey. For the most part, through the grasslands themselves along the road, you see a couple Greylaws here and there, and then you come upon a spot almost in Linwall, which I'm trying to get over so I can actually shift for you guys here. Move where your characters are at. Your party little token. So yeah, you move along peacefully throughout that, and you come into the forested area of the road towards Linwall. It's been probably 2 days since you saw any Greylaws along the road, which you just see one about every day or so, at least pathing one way or the other along it. And I think so. Glad, where are you at? Are you on inside? Are you outside? Where are you at?
I'm outside.
Okay.
I like to keep an eye out.
Would also remind everybody to make sure your characters are full HP. You have all your spells. You've had your long rest.
If you type in exclamation point long rest, it should fill your health, your hit dice, and your spell slots.
Yep.
I believe.
So,
Oh, we got a long rest?
well, yeah, you would have had a long rest from the rest overnight in Oswald.
Awesome. Can I make the argument that I took that downtime to build more arcane shells?
Yeah, that's been really
You can
fine.
do it during a long rest.
It's been a couple days, so yeah, you've had time to make at least, the 40 shells and whatnot. You have all the supplies for it, so yeah. So you you come upon, as you're like walking or riding along, Glad, I'm assuming you're up on top of the cart of the house itself, with Elle and Magnus in the front, with Luke in the inside, probably rearranging, making shells and all that type of
Inventory.
stuff.
Taking
He's
inventory.
inventorying. When you see a spy off in the distance, I think Glad, you see it first because you're height, and then Elle and Magnus, you see it next. Hanging in the trees along a straightaway where it's about to kind of come around a curve a little bit, you see 4 withered carcasses hanging from webs.
From
I
webs,
think we
you
got
say?
spiders, boy.
From webs.
Magnus is like,
Oh, I hate spiders almost as much as I hate rats.
Better kill them quick then.
Agreed.
Magnus like says an incantation and like touches himself on the forehead, and like his mage armor like bubbles around him.
Covering just around the hat, perfectly shaped.
Is anyone gonna tell me why we stopped?
No, do you stick your head out and ask?
Did we come to a screeching halt?
Well, I mean, you slowed down, you stopped. It's pretty obvious that you
I might
stopped.
not notice if I'm doing inventory.
You definitely noticed, unless you choose not to.
I think I fell off shelves and
Step out. Side of the thing.
Magnus
Well,
could knock on the
also-
window. I'll knock on the
Oh,
window.
so what? Why do we stop there? You know, it's kind of hard to do things when they fly off the shelves. You know.
Magnus like peeks his face into the window, and just says,
We got spiders.
and then like slides the window shut.
Oh, I step out of the tiny house.
Okay. Yeah,
So
you
I
take,
clearly see it's all strung up.
yeah, you take a step out. I think from where you probably see versus the other, because you know front versus back. You probably spy like one of like the 4 carcasses hanging. They're probably roughly about. I can't actually see because I'm too far down here. Somewhere about 60 to 80 feet off the road is what you can see.
Yeah. So I don't really see a reason there, you know, to take care of this. I mean, it's like not like we can save them, you know. And they're pretty far off the road, so we don't really have to worry about any other individuals, you know, wandering over there. Because who would want to go near spiders anyway? Icky. You know. So let's just move around. Let's just move along, you know.
I mean, we might not be able to save them, but they might have something on them. If nothing
So
else,
you
their
just
family
wanna-
might want to see their remains, where he could take care of them.
I could always perform burial rites. That's true.
I don't think, you know,
Well,
touching them is a good thing.
you do know
That's what I was
Magnus at the same
When
time.
I know that touching spider webs calls the spider.
I mean, yeah, you definitely have a standard, you know, thought processes of like spiders do have that sense through their own webbing. At the same time, you know that these 4 bodies, carcasses left, we know, without their burial rights, are more than likely going to turn into the things that you hunt
So
at
let's
some
just
point in
keep
time in
rolling.
the future. By leaving them here, you risk 4 more enemies against you.
Yeah, that's what I say. I don't think Magnus would just doesn't like leaving dead bodies behind in general.
Yeah.
It hasn't. So yeah, Magnus would be like,
At least, yes. Let's put their bodies in the ground. Make sure they don't rise again. But
You
But
know,
we-
I don't.
yes.
I was gonna say, you know, there could be like spider eggs or something in those bodies there. I think it's safe just to kind of, you know, burn or cremate them, you know, just where they stand and leave it at that there. You know a cremation, all right? You know, I
There
think,
is- there's
what,
a right.
elves that do that?
There's a rite of fire. Yes, we could do that.
You know, that's probably, if you gotta do it, you might as well do it from a distance, you know, so you don't worry about making whatever those things food is, you know, upset.
Magnus like pulls a torch out of his backpack
Okay.
and is like,
I hate these things.
and like sparks his
Alright,
tinderbox.
so you spark it. I will. I mean, so these aren't like webbings on the ground. They are hanging from
up in
trees.
the tree.
So they're
right.
like they're hanging. They're about 20-foot tall trees or so. These are older trees, and yeah, they're hanging down about 5 to 10 feet or so, and like they're not swaying. They're kind of just still. There's no real wind going on right now. So, and they're in 4 little separate trees, all in a small like circular area though, probably about 20 feet around.
No, tell me this: to walk over there into the, because you said it's like off the path a little
Here,
bit. into
I'll
the
give you a map.
woods. If we walk over there, will we be walking on webbing?
No. At least on a quick glance, unless you want to give me like a perception check, you don't see like any webbing on the ground. The only webbing you really see are the 4 creatures. Which let me go ahead and move you guys over for the oh, I'm on the ruler. That's why I won't do it. Here we go.
Okay.
So you can see these 4 carcasses right here, and then you can see the road just to the southeast or east.
I'd like to give him cover because I'm definitely not going near spiders because I think they're gross. So I'm going to give him cover with my rifle in case something shows up during this process.
Okay. And here, I'll actually give you. I'm not going to put a cart right now for you guys, but I'll put roughly. You guys are somewhere. You know, you'll be on this side of the road.
I'd like to say I'm on top of the cart to try to give me some high ground.
So you and Glad are up on top of the cart.
I'm going to use a ladder to get up there.
Glad.
I am going to hold on. Let me look. I'm just looking at my robe of many things, just making sure there's nothing I wanted here to use. I don't think so. I'm gonna pull out my. Do I have a rope? I think I do. Does anyone else have a rope? I'm gonna turn to Luke. They're on top of the cart now.
Yeah, Luke and Glad are both in the cart.
So like I look up and I'm like, hey,
Does one of you have a rope on your pack?
I just happen to have some rope here as I like dig in. How much do you need there?
50 feet or
120
so.
feet, you know, that sounds good. Oh, okay,
That's
you know,
fine.
as I just start like throwing it out of the bag of holding.
He ends up. The last throw is like the end of one of the ropes.
okay. So Magnus grabs on the end of the rope. I'm assuming like still streaming out of the bag, holding like a piece of spaghetti out of someone's mouth.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna cast Spider Climb on myself. So Magnus like sits down for a second and like does a little chant and then like boom, like just like lifts himself up and starts like and starts spider climbing into the forest and up one of the trees with the
Okay.
rope.
Do you go? I'm assuming to the closest one, or which one do you go to?
Yeah, you know what? Actually, I don't even know if I need the rope. Actually, yeah, I'm gonna go to the closest one, and I am gonna take the rope because I don't want to like drop them to the ground. I want to lower them down easy. So yeah,
Okay.
I'll go to this one here.
Okay. What are the rest of you doing while Magnus goes to this first like withered carcass?
I'm just gonna watch his back.
Yeah, I've got my bow out on top of the hut.
Elle, what are you doing?
Is following an option?
You can go with him.
Yeah, actually, I'm gonna turn and say,
Elle, do you mind? In case something happens, you know I'm not so great in close combat.
Of course.
Get that big sword out, girl.
You pull it out. Okay, you go following up with them. All right. So you get up to the carcass here. You go to where the tree's at and actually start walking up it, Magnus. And then like you're upside down walking on the thin branch. It's starting to bounce a bit. You're watching little like goops of decomposed body fall onto the ground just to the side of you, Elle, as you're kind of looking up at it. And then you're at the withered carcass right now, Magnus, like where the string's attached or the webbing's attached to the tree.
okay, so I'm gonna I have the rope still in my hand. I'm gonna pull the rope over, try and tie a knot around the ankles,
Okay.
right? As much as I can, anyway, without squishing all the juice out of this meat.
Yeah,
bag.
it sounds. I mean, there's a little bit left, but yeah, in general, I mean, it seems very like you grab the webbing. It gets very sticky around the rope, and you don't have to really even tie it that much. It just seems just to hold almost for you.
Yeah. Okay. And so yeah, I do that, and then I'm gonna pull out my dagger and start like trying to saw at the web so the body comes loose. I'm gonna say,
Elle, hold the rope.
Alright.
Okay. So Elle, yeah, it's kind of
Yeah,
like it's almost like a hangman's noose, almost in a sense, where Elle's got it, and it's like over the. So then you cut as the or finish cutting the webbing, the body gives a little bit. Elle, would you give me an athletics check to see how you can like hold on to this body as it starts to fall?
Magnus is like,
Yeah.
Brace yourself.
oh man.
With no issue. Yeah, Elle, you like brace yourself, and Elle doesn't even move. It just like kind of sways back and forth a bit, and that's when you hear just a loud popping noise, Magnus. Over to your left, you see this spider, and you hear a second pop. We just lost him again. I'll wait for him to come before he's back. So you see roughly. Actually, I'll just pop him on the board for you here. You see this two large spiders. The other one, I
God.
think Luke and Glad, you see under the tree line behind Elle. These spiders phase into this area, like appear from this with this loud popping noise. They're blue colored.
See this?
Huh? Yeah, you see.
Do
Like
I
you're
hear
like,
and see the
I think you're
popping?
looking like towards them, and you hear the pop. You hear the second
I
one. You
think
both
I
look
would
and you see the
shoot.
spider there. We'll roll
Shoot
initiative
initiative, I
before.
think it would
We're gonna roll initiative because they're acting at the same exact point. They appear. They're gonna move. But yeah, you see these massive white spiders, like blue fangs and mouth, blue underbelly, as they start to get ready to scurry towards you. They're almost seem like see-through. It is going to switch over to music, and we'll roll initiative.
You know what these little shits are.
I know.
Pop rocks.
I had double music going. Let me fix that.
Oh,
Nice.
don't use this. This is copyrighted.
Wow, guys, isn't okay? I will skip that over.
Can't use any video game music. I mean, I know Twitch will use video game music, but
YouTube?
You can still get. Yeah, YouTube will bang us for it.
I'll edit it out after this episode, then get rid of a lot of that.
It's okay.
Okay. I gotta roll for these suckers.
I say I love that Witcher music, but I don't think we're allowed to use it. Oh, this is video game music too, dude.
Man, I have a lot of music. I'm just hitting the stop and play. It's gonna end up playing through because it's a random playlist at the moment, so I can't really.
We're done.
We're gonna be stuck with what we got for the moment. We'll have to deal with it for this episode because it's gonna be a
Okay,
bunch of
that's fine.
stuff, and then we'll just edit. Like I said, we'll edit it after this one. So let's go and organize and see where we go here. Glod, L, Luke, then the spiders, and then Magnus.
Do I get my first round action of opening fire because I held it?
No, because in the same aspect, they are prepared the same time you are when they appear. So it's we go when we go in this case. There's no like surprise round or like ready to action in a sense. So Glod, you're up first though. Yeah, they phase in. They start to like get ready to skitter, and you react first right away.
So, first thing I'm gonna do is pop off a shot at it. It will be disadvantaged because of the range, but
You have a short. It's 85. It's a longbow. It's not disadvantage.
Longbow.
So longbow is not disadvantage of the range you're at.
oh, I was thinking at the
Oh,
other
the
one.
other one. So which one do you shoot at then?
So I didn't see the one north of me, so I'm definitely shooting that one.
Okay, cool, perfect. I'm actually gonna adjust where this is at. Okay, so you shoot at that one. A 15 hits anyways, even with disadvantage for 13 piercing damage. Damn, that was a lot of damage. Why so? Wait,
Because I rolled an 8.
+4. Okay, yeah, that's just really high. Cool, very nice.
This doesn't feel like it's the right distance.
It is. It's correct.
This is 105, but this is also 105?
Is it sideways?
Mm-hmm. Okay, so you shoot into it. It cries as it like pierces through and lands in the ground below it.
And then that's going to be my turn.
Okay.
Well, no, actually. I'm going to cast Hunter's Mark on it.
Okay.
Same one. Should have done that first, but oh well.
Darn. Okay, put a little marker on it. L, you are up.
Well. That's annoying.
Can always ready in action.
I suppose
You also
you're
got.
right.
You also have cunning actions to make use of. Also.
So if I dash, can I still attack?
Yeah, if you use your cunning action to dash, you still have your action to attack.
Okay. Okay. 40. So I still have 20 feet left. Nothing else.
Right. So you can still attack, and then you have 20 more feet of movement if you want to make use of it for some weird reason.
I'm gonna use my greatsword.
Okay. So yeah, we watch
I can
L.
slash that shit.
She has the weapon out already. She's holding that rope, Magnus, with one hand. As she sees the spider, she lets the rope go, and you watch the carcass like fall to the ground, and you hear this loud crunch and break, snapping of bones. She just swings forward and just takes it with both hands and just swings straight across this spider as she hits with her sneak attack damage also for 17 damage.
Elle's super cut. She's ripped.
There she is. Okay. Luke, it is your turn.
Woo! Since it looks like that one's well taken care of, Luke is going to assist lot of destroying this other one from flanking our comrades. So he blasts at it. Not doing anything.
Yeah, you shoot. Distance is just too far for you in this case. The tree gets in the way, like a branch like flies down from a little bit of gust of wind, hits it, and the branch just goes flying. Spider's perfectly fine. Do anything else?
Reloads, and then probably hops off the cart because he needs that line of sight because he missed.
Okay. You hop off. It is now the creature's turn. So the one in front of you, L, you swing through it, and it just leaps up with both of its legs, making itself look as big as it possibly can to intimidate you, and then comes down and tries to bite you. 22.
Oh.
Amazing roll. Okay, so L, you take 9 piercing, and will you please give me a Constitution saving throw? Okay, you fail. You take an additional 15 poison damage. It does not reduce you to anything, so you're perfectly fine. So you take a grand total of 24 damage as it bites into you, and its poison seeps through your body.
Jesus.
Yeah, that's
Luke,
brutal.
you watch the other one. Like I think Luke and Glad, you're watching that one. You watch as you see it, and you start to see it slowly start to fade in color, like it's becoming translucent. You hear that loud popping noise once again as it vanishes from view. And
Can I do a check to see if I know anything about this?
um,
Like where it's going, or
you can go in. You can use your reaction to make an Arcana check to try to determine what just happened. I will let you use your reaction to do that.
I'm gonna do that.
Okay. I think maybe you and Magnus probably have seen these before. It's not a beast. It's more closer to a monstrosity. It is what's known as a phase spider. It can shift between the material plane and the ethereal plane. So, that's kind of what you know about it. So we just lost him. So he doesn't get to know anymore.
Now only I know.
Sorry, I had a power glitch and caused my internet to crash.
That's fine. So yeah, it can basically shift between the ethereal and the material plane.
You know what it does. Now
I'm
your
gonna
character
confirm
does
this
too.
information. I'm gonna be like, oh, they're kind of shifting around there. I think it's best we retreat back to the wagon.
So you suggest?
Yeah.
We still only see the one, right?
You still see the one. Actually, I lied. That one after it hits you, L, the same thing happens. You see it start to shift and phase, and you hear that loud pop as it vanishes from view. And I don't think you even hear skittering since it's not on the same plane as you anymore, as it goes somewhere. Okay,
I'm gonna come over and murder me.
Magnus, it is your turn.
All right. So Magnus is going to. Where's that pesky spider? He phased somewhere
They
else?
both phased, yeah.
Did I guess I don't see where they phased to?
You don't see where they went to. I don't believe you can, since it's on a different plane, you can't actually see where it's at.
I thought they had to phase back in on the same turn. That's all.
No, they
Okay.
can use. They basically they can either phase in on a turn or phase out on a turn.
Phase out.
They can't do both in the same turn.
So Magnus is going to go down the tree, however tall you tell me that is.
It's. I said they were 20 feet. The branch is not the tallest branch, so it's like 10 feet down. But you have to
Okay, so
you have to
Magnus-
walk back over to here though, to get to the trunk, unless you wanted to drop.
It's a 10-foot drop. Nah, I don't think so. Yeah. So Magnus goes. Just tell me how much it is to walk back, go down, and get back to where I am now.
So it's. I mean, here it's. I mean, realistically, it's probably here. So it's like 25 feet to get to where the edge of that branch is. It's a long branch. Seems a little longer than it should be, but yeah.
Oh wait, there's a rope. Jazzy's still holding onto the rope, right?
No, she let it go. As the carcass
She did.
Wait, how else was she supposed to get to the spider? So she let the rope go. The
Nah.
carcass fell and crashed and crunched. As
Did
she
the
went,
carcass
she
explode? I
It doesn't
missed that part,
explode.
I'm
It's still like the webbing itself is like broken up in pieces. You can see the body itself is broken, but it didn't
Oh,
cause
okay,
any
so-
more harm.
It was 120 feet of rope, right? So it's still hanging over the branch, no?
It was 50 feet of rope.
No, he said it was
Uh,
120.
You only have-
I never.
they're
touched-
only in sections of
I just
50.
thought the
They're only
rope
50
there.
feet. I mean, realistically,
Even-
yeah, it would still be
Even if it was
hanging.
50 even if it was 50 feet, if I'm only 10 feet up, it would still be over
Yeah,
the
it would still be
branch, right?
hanging. Yeah.
Dope. Then instead of walking back to the trunk, since I'm in the tree branch, Magnus is going to hold onto the rope and jump off and use the dead body like a counterweight.
I like
Just
it.
like swing down slowly.
And
So
I'm gonna
need
make
to
you
an
roll for
athletics
it.
check?
No, because I feel like it's well thought out, and it's not, and you're not really in any danger at the moment. Like there's nothing around you, so no real need for a roll.
Okay. So yeah, Magnus like, like in a fucking action movie, like with the chandelier, like I like grab the rope and like jump down, and as I do, the body like goes up, and I like slowly just sink down to the ground.
You let the
And then
rope go.
I let the rope go too. Yeah.
Crunches open and just bursts open. Body parts are everywhere now.
Magnus is like, oh darn it, I wouldn't have ruined it. I also technically still have a torch in my other hand.
Yes.
So I'm just gonna torch this body where it lays.
Okay. You just say a few words and.
If it seems like I could do so without setting the whole forest on fire.
Yeah, I mean, it just rained yesterday, so there's the likelihood of anything really happening is very low. Well, it rained a
Cool.
couple days ago.
So I guess my action was jumping down on the rope.
No,
Or my
that would be a normal
movement-
movement.
Okay, so we'll do that as my movement, and then I use my action to burn the body in front of me.
Works for me. So yeah,
And then if I have any movement left at all, I don't
you
know how
dropped
wanna
10
do this
feet, so
movement.
you still have 15 feet of movement.
Okay, then I'm just gonna retreat 15 feet back towards the path. And I'm sorry my turn took so long, everyone. That's it.
That's cool. Okay, Glad, you are up.
So, I mean, there's essentially no way for me to sense them, even with my hunter's mark, right?
No, because it's on a different plane now
Yeah.
of existence.
So, I'm just gonna ready an action for the first enemy that I see. I'm gonna shoot.
So you ready your action to shoot the first one that appears. Elle, what do you do? As it's now your turn.
I guess I'm gonna not be out in the open, maybe.
Do you like catch up to where Magnus is at? Like try to cover for him, or
Well, he's like all the way over here.
use him as you give your dash action. Don't forget.
Yeah.
Use him as your human shield.
I could also like hide and then pop out.
You could try to find a place out. Right now, you're in the middle of like the forest. If you wanted to run to where one of the tree trunks are at, you could do that and then try to hide. It would be somewhere
there?
roughly up here. It's a little bit farther away. You're kind of in the middle of a wide open area. It'd be like up here, way over here, down here.
Annoying.
Over.
I think Luke would suggest coming back to the cart.
You hear Luke just yell, "Back to everybody! Get back to the cart!"
Yo, get
You know
back
that-
to the cart now, you hosers.
What do you do?
I guess I'm gonna. Wait, how much can I do? Like, as
I mean,
far as
You can technically dash
hiding.
twice. You can go. I mean, there's nowhere for you to really hide unless you get under a trunk. So the only thing you can do is either dash through under a trunk and then hide as your action, or you can or you can dash ready in action or something like that. Those are kind of your options right now.
Didn't you dash, use cutting, and dash again to get back to
You
the
could
cart?
dash twice. You go 90 feet. Yeah.
too much. I mean, what do you consider the trunk? Like, if I went here,
You're almost to the you're like 5 feet from the trunk. But anything that's on the west side it's gonna see. You're not hidden from anything that's on that side of the tree.
Yeah, okay. I guess, I'll just go by where Magnus is and be like, hey, let's fight together, fam.
Guardiel.
The next thing he runs
You're
away
like,
from you.
guard meow, and you look at her, you see her arm, and she's like, you just see the poison like coursing through her veins still.
It's all like swollen and purple. I'm like,
Oh God. Jesus
What a
Christ.
selfish.
She
I
looks
did
tired.
forget.
She's breathing heavy.
I may have lost over half my health.
Man, if only you had an antitoxin that you may have stolen.
She's not poisoned anymore. She took poison damage. So,
Not yet. She can make it. I don't know.
well, either way. So that is your turn then, Elle, or are you ready in action?
Yeah, ready in action.
What is your action that you ready?
I.
Like, you gotta you to specify like what you're gonna
Dodge.
do
Ready
and what the
action
trigger
of dodge.
is.
I guess I'll ready my longbow, and so if I see one of them, I'll just shoot at them.
Okay.
Dodge.
All right, Luke, you're up.
Alright, I don't see any of them.
No, right now they're not in the same plane.
I guess I'm gonna just dodge action.
You're gonna take the dodge action. Is what you're gonna take?
I don't know where they are. I don't know if they're gonna like jump up on me, and then even if I ready an action, they're point blank range to disadvantage. It's not worth it. It's better to.
So you take the dodge action then.
Dodge action, yes.
Luke is dodging. Okay, it is now their turn. So don't click your thing. I'll reset it in a second then. All right. So let's see. Where can this one go? Haha.
fucking spiders. Never know where they're gonna go.
You don't know where to go. As you mentioned, like they're gonna be here somewhere, and you hear this pop, and it appears right next to you, as it was able to move
I imagine
just in 30 feet. Yeah.
I imagine it's a cute pop, like
Yeah.
yeah.
And it is just in range for.
Is it in range for you? Because
Yep.
you get your shot as soon as it appears.
Woo,
seven.
buddy.
Oh, I'm not sure. There we go. 23. So you hit for 7 damage. As Magnus, you see it appear in front of you, and an arrow just comes flying by and hits it right in one of its eyes.
I imagine the arrow goes through my hat. My hat's just like stuck to the spider with an
You just
arrow.
rip it and pull it back, put it back
Like,
on.
Rip it back off and put it on. Yeah.
As it lunges towards you as you grab for your hat. Makes a bite attack. A 14.
I'm gonna use my shield.
Okay, use your reaction to shield. It goes to bite into you. Grab your hat, and as you put the hat back on, the shield just like appears in front of you and just like gets stuck on like this invisible-looking wall. And
I
like,
imagine it like bounces off this like kind of golden wall, and then it's just like clicking
exactly.
its teeth.
It's exactly how it works. The other one does not reappear this round.
Okay.
It did something. As it turn ends. Magnus, you're up.
So the way I imagine that, by the way, is like the hat went like over my head and stuck to the spider. I ripped my hat back. It lunged at me, and I just like held my hand out and just went and like knocked the spider back, all in one motion. That was fun.
And then
so
the counterattack right away.
Yeah. And then I turn around, and I think what Magnus would do here is
I'm confused. When
Why?
you're ready in action.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you
Oh,
get
yeah.
your bow shot too. I forgot. You were correct. My bad.
Okay.
I forgot about yours.
that's all right. I haven't taken my turn yet, so you still get to go.
Okay. It's disadvantage. Well,
No,
yeah.
it's
No,
normal
not.
attack.
It's not.
Oh,
it's
really?
fine.
It's not
more-
within 5 feet of
just
you.
over 5 feet. Yeah. So
Oh,
you're good.
I couldn't get that. Was 35 feet. A 16 hits. So, okay, Magnus. She hits, and it goes right into its other eye, and it's now like kind of like it's got a bunch of other ones, but it's like trying its best with its legs to reach the things in its eyes. Quite distracted, not paying attention to you whatsoever.
Does that mean I can run without an opportunity attack?
No, mechanically wise, it's still perfectly fine. Can attack you.
Okay. I am going to. This is probably overkill. Actually, you know what?
It looks
Nah.
exhausted. It's bloody. There's like venom and ooze and stuff pooling out of it. It does
Okay,
not look good.
Magnus says his favorite incantation where he thrusts his hand out as 3 magic missiles. Actually, 2 magic missiles. No, there's only 1 spider visible. So
Do you want to switch
Actually-
it then?
I'm gonna do 2 magic missiles to the spider and 1 on the body directly north. See if I can't dislodge it from the tree.
Okay. Go ahead and make those rolls. So 5.
So 5, 7 on the spider, 7 total on the spider, and
Yeah.
3 on the body. I don't know if that's enough to break the netting.
Yeah, it definitely is. I mean, you're hitting the strand. You're not hitting the actual body itself. So yeah, the first missile hits the spider and it gets hit in the side. Like it kind of curves around, hits in the side, and the other one comes right from above and slams down. And the spider starts to curl up
Yeah.
as it
Fuck
dies.
yeah.
The other missile
then I'm
goes
gonna-
flying off, and yeah, it cuts through the rope, and the body collapses. You hear that crunch of bones as it hits the
I'm
floor.
gonna use my 25 feet of movement to run over to this corpse as it clatters to the ground and just hold my torch down to it.
Okay. Yeah. So you start.
Setting it on fire.
Okay.
And that's what it's doing.
All right, Glad, you are up.
And I still see no targets, right?
Correct. The other one didn't reappear yet.
See ya. Same deal. Gonna hold my action until I see it and then
Okay.
pop it. Ideally.
Elle, it is your turn.
So, the last place that it was seen was like here?
It's in this case, it's not the same as like a blind shot. But yeah, it was roughly over there.
Yeah.
It's not in the same plane, so you unless you have some select and go through planes, you can't hit it with anything.
No, that's, I was just, yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's fine.
If only humans had true sight.
Eh. I guess I'll go kind of toward where I last
Saw it?
saw.
Okay. And then what do you do?
I suppose I can ready another action there. Like it wasn't there. Well, now I don't know. I'll just do that for good measure. I suppose ready another bow shot.
Okay.
And just chill.
Luke, you are up.
I too, not knowing what I see, will be moving 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and running a bow shot or running a rifle shot to shoot anything that appears near any of the comrades. So
Okay.
Anywhere around here.
It is now the phase spider's turn. So this is gonna be interesting to see how this works because I'm gonna give you guys a kind of a view of what happened to this phase spider. It appears, gets shot twice, pops back into its ethereal form, starts scurrying. It dashes towards right where Luke's at and is like a foot from him. It's getting ready to like reappear and attack. Luke steps away and walks away, getting ready to shoot wherever it appears. And it begins to skitter after him further and reappears right next to you, Luke. I'm just gonna let me swap.
Of
them over.
course. The one time I don't use dodge.
It was right next to you, but I had to use a dash the first time to get to you. So yeah, it reappears right here as all 3 of you get a shot on it before it gets to make an
No.
action. So Elle, Glad, and Luke at disadvantage.
Do we just roll?
Yeah, make your rolls.
19
disadvantage
for
over.
11. Plus.
Wait, why is it disadvantage?
Not for you. Just
Not for you,
Luke,
just for
because
Luke.
Because he's standing right next to it.
Okay.
So I did 15 damage.
Oh, right, okay. All right, so, so yeah, Luke, you like turn, like you're ready to like you run like. You turn around to look for it, and it's already right in front of you. Like, oh shit! As an arrow hits him from both sides. Let's see. So it's 15 from the first one. This might. I think you guys killed it before Luke even gets his shot off.
I'm still gonna shoot regardless, even if it's
Correct,
dead.
because you get your sneak attack damage, so you do 14. It's already been overkilled by 8 hits. Yeah, Luke, as you turn to shoot, and you pull the trigger, and it curls up into the ball as you shoot over it, missing the attack.
Oh, dang it. I imagine Luke popped its abdomen like its thorax, like a balloon.
It had an AC of 13. So he just barely missed. But yeah, Luke, you shoot and he goes right over it. As the spider like flips over, curls up into a ball and dies.
Oh man, that's terrible. There, as like, I look around. Do I see any other things?
No, you're looking around. You guys haven't heard any more other pops or anything like that. Madness is
gonna start
burning
thinking
the second
apart.
body right now.
I'm gonna start taking like bits and pieces out of it, like spider silk.
All right, go ahead and give me. I mean, that's very delicate work. It's also potentially very dangerous work.
I'm just gonna like cut it open and take the entire sack and put it in a jar.
It's fine. Give me a survival check.
Do you have? Oh, wish me luck. Oh, nope. First one rolls 4.
All right.
Double click it.
So
Damn it!
yeah, like you go to like reach in and grab the like you cut the abdomen open, and as you do, you dug in too deep, and you just tore the entire like sack for the webbing, just completely destroy it. It's not usable
Does my
whatsoever. As it
Dagger
as
gets stuck?
no, it pulls through. I don't think because what you're trying to get, you don't take any damage from the really crappy roll. If you're going for like the venom sack or the poison sack, then that would have been a problem. But in this case, you just completely just destroy it.
Oh. He's sad. And as he's sad, he's fucking up. He's sawing off one of the spider legs to eat later.
Sure, you do that with no problem.
I took all of them to eat.
Glad, Manus, what are you guys all doing?
So I'm gonna definitely spider climb the last 2 trees to cut down the last 2 bodies.
Okay.
And set them on fire. And as soon as all the bodies are burning, I'm just gonna sit down right here in the middle, cross-legged, and meditate and burn sage and just say like a prayer, like it takes a few minutes to say, kind of try and cover the whole area. Say a elven prayer to, I believe, Serenus is there.
Yep, that would be.
Serenus.
For in that case, yes, it would be. So you burn them. I think as you're burning down or burning, like put the torch to the 4th corpse, when it fell, you do see a gray cloak as part of its wares.
Coming out of the webbing.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna light it. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna pull out my dagger and slice the webbing open. Take a better look. See if he has anything useful or if I recognize him.
Go ahead and give
Include
me an investigation check.
Here. Okay. Yeah. Let me. Investigation.
Okay, 13. Okay, I mean, you find the typical gray cloak garb on this person. It is not an elf; it's a human in this case. And you find on him a standard longsword. His shield maybe at some point fell. Like looks like they got like ambushed before the weapons were even ready. They're still like on like a sheathed. Gold wise, you find roughly about like 4 gold and like 13 silver.
Okay.
On him.
I'm just gonna pocket that.
And then you find about 5 rations. They don't usually typically carry too much on them on patrol, other than what's like just the necessities only.
Take that.
They probably had a pack with like his like a sleeping bag and whatnot, or tent.
Does he have a dog tag of some sort?
No, I don't think the Grey Cloaks themselves typically have one. The Grey Cloaks are a very, in terms of like the lore, the Grey Laws, not Grey Cloaks. Sorry, Grey Cloaks is a different thing. Not in this game. The Grey Laws themselves are they're your city guard. They're the ones patrolling, do all that type of stuff, but they have a very high turnover rate. They pay well, but there's so many laws trying to keep track of the amount they would lose is not profitable, and it would cost them a lot. So that's why they kind of avoid doing that.
I just figured some people might like write their name and their like on their shirt tag, so you can tell their wife if you find their dead body in a spider web.
Yeah.
But that's okay. I don't mind. So before I even burn his body and start my burial rituals for these bodies, I'm gonna like take the sword, the longsword and shield, which I'm sure are like the size of my body, and like drag them all the way back to the cart. I'm gonna be like,
Luke, throw this on the pile.
then I'm gonna like
Oh,
walk back into the forest with my
so
torch.
just to make sure, wait, Magnus, what? I like twiddle my thumbs and like thinking to myself, I was like, this is considered stealing. As I go at another body to see if I could take anything out of it.
All the other 3 bodies are burning right now.
Yeah, the other 3 are on
I
fire.
will
So
still go see if there's any weapons, because the weapons aren't gonna burn. I mean, right? I mean,
that's true.
They won't burn, but
swords
I
don't
mean,
burn.
quick spy through the flames. Yeah, you see some type of weapon at least on one of the other ones. You have to wait for the fire to die down if you were going to sit here and wait for that to die down to be able to grab it.
If only I had some sort of blacksmith tools that I could use just to grab a hot blade.
Do you have smithing tools?
I have something that gives me smithing tools.
It's true, you do. Okay. So what does it look like? What do you like? Explain, because I don't think we've ever actually really seen you use it. So
I like take out. It's like a pocket knife, almost like about yay big, and I just kind of like unfold a little side. It just keeps unfolding. It's like this giant pair of like
tongs.
things you grab like horseshoes for, and be like, whoop, and I just grab it. Like drag it out.
Pull
the
it
fire.
out. Yeah, I think you go to grab it for like a split second. It's hot, so you like kind of throw it up a little bit. And you just kind of hold the tongs. It's gonna take some time for it to cool off, but you grab another long sword.
Awesome. I take the 2 long swords and I put them in the cart of many things.
The cart of many things, yes.
So the last 2 things I want to say are Magnus obviously burns the last body, and I'm going to use the rest of my salt. It's something I have never purchased, but I want to start tracking because I use it a lot to do rituals. So Magnus draws like a huge arcane circle that surrounds all 4 bodies
Okay.
of salt, and he uses the last of his salt to do so. And says prayers for Nurgle and for Surinus.
Covering all bases, I like it.
Make sure everybody's covered, yeah. And then the last thing I want to do, if I can, I would like to try and harvest a fang from a spider in hopes of eventually fashioning it into a dagger.
Okay. Same thing is very dangerous to do typically. So if it goes poorly, it can go very poorly, but go ahead and give me a survival check.
My survival is not great.
Yeah, all you gotta do is beat a 10. 10 is the standard for
you
this.
Can I
Can I
say
have-
something real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
I think knowing that you're not good at doing that, you would ask for help.
Well, here's my thing is I have a great medicine score. Can I not use my surgical skills towards this? Maybe give me a 1 DC higher than you would have before? Since it applies
Oh.
less.
I think that's a true thing. If he's used to like doing autopsies, he knows.
I
what's going on.
That's true,
surgery
you
bodies
do.
all the time.
Sure. Yeah, I'm
You've been
okay.
I have a
Maybe
field
You
autopsy.
can
advantage.
use your medicine instead of survival. I think that's completely fair in this argument. Yeah.
Sweet 21.
So yeah, you get a phase spider fang
Fuck yes.
with the venom sac
And
attached.
Now tell me this, Dungeon Master. Would I have to? Could Luke fashion this into a dagger, or would I need to see a smith? Probably.
I think Luke, with some time, could do it. It would require some rolls and whatnot to see, if anything ends up going bad. I mean, if you want to try to gather another fang just as a backup in case, you could do something like that.
I think rather than trying to eat up Luke's downtime, Magnus would wait to see a high-end smith.
Okay, so your best bet would probably be either in Davenport, potentially, because Davenport is like the main tradeway through the center of the continent, and Whiteborough is the capital, which, smiths house a lot of the greater smiths in the country.
Okay, cool. And that's all Magnus wants to do. I'll stop hogging the spotlight. If anyone else wants to do stuff.
Yeah, Glad L.
Where are we?
You're still dealing with spiders.
We were just
I
like
don't
cleaning up the dead bodies. You don't want to be with the spiders?
I don't like spiders.
L doesn't like spiders.
I imagine Elle went back to the cart and like crawled in, and it's like curled up in this itty bitty cart for a 3-foot tall person, like looking out the window, like.
Is it time to go yet?
It's got a 5-foot ceiling. It's not that short.
Maybe this is a good spot to rest, Del.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you
Remember-
about that because
Remember, my bed is technically a full twin.
because my health is, not so great.
Yeah, so you just lay
Ooh.
down in the back of the cart and just snooze off.
Okay. So is that like a
Ooh.
short
Mhm.
rest?
Let's see. Oh,
Okay.
anybody else? I know, Charlie, you were going to say something.
I was gonna say I would give her a health potion if we didn't have time for a short rest, but if we are gonna continue, I mean, I feel Magnus is gonna turn to the rest and be like,
Okay, the burial rites are finished. I'm ready to move on.
Oh,
Shall we go?
that's wonderful. I think I'll join you in the cart this time. I think I've done enough inventory for the day.
Yes, it's the weather's actually quite nice. Let us ride on top, as they say.
and then like I start climbing back up
Shotgun.
the top of the cart, and of course like pulling out my spell book, which is hanging from my belt by a chain, and immediately when I'm back on the cart, just start studying.
Okay. So,
trying to replenish.
let me get you guys back in the proper spot here on the map.
So should we just do a long rest or a short rest? Right now?
I mean,
'Cause we're not
technically,
camping, I guess, right?
I mean, just to save time for certain sakes, is you guys are going to be able to travel to Linwall without any other future incidents, so you'll be able to get that long rest in, at least within that time frame. It's about another day to Linwall, and you arrive there at the first town you stopped in. This is the town you stopped in after dealing or meeting Eleanor at the Admiral's Arm Inn. As the in between Davenport and here.
Oh, cool.
So, is there anything you guys wish to do?
Wheat Chewer's here. I want to go visit Wheat Chewer. Wheat Chewer, the alchemist in Linwall.
I don't know if I have.
Yeah, Wheat
Linwall.
Chewer is the last name.
I have Valden in my book twice. I just noticed.
Nice. Yeah, Wheat Chewer is a tiefling. This is
Well, I'm going to go visit that tiefling.
Okay, so you go to meet. We'll just go Wheat Chewer is the name for now. It's the last name. You go into Wheat Chewer, and they have that name for a reason. You come and you see them, and they have like literally a piece of like wheat in their mouth. They're missing some teeth maybe since the last time you saw them. So you come in.
Hey there, fella. How you been? It's been a while since I've been here.
He kind of looks at you first with it. Shadowguard, right?
Yeah. You said you'd buy any alchemy supplies I was able to acquire. So actually, I do happen to have here. Starts taking all the alchemy supplies he stole out of the cart,
Kind of
out
looks
of
at.
his bag of holding.
Okay.
I'd be willing to sell it for you at a fair price.
He goes, I'm definitely interested in buying plenty of things. And he kind of like, do you mind if I take a look at them? I gotta make sure they're your quality, of course.
Are there any markings that suggest I acquired them from someone else?
Have you? I don't think you've looked, technically.
Gotta fence those things, man.
I guess I won't mention it and say, you sure?
Oh, it's cool.
That's not a bad idea. You gotta expect the quality of things you're gonna give me a good price.
I mean, if I'm giving you the proper price, I need to see what it is. So, you hand him a couple different. Yeah, you hand him a couple different things, a couple herbs, jars of things. He looks at him and goes, "Huh. Okay."
No,
He opens up one of the things, smells it, takes a bit. Some good quality stuff.
Thanks.
Can I ask why Furkar might have sold you so much, or why did you purchase so much from him?
They happen to have some orcs raiding the town, and
That's terrible news. Hope everybody's okay.
Yeah, absolutely. So as payment, since he couldn't actually pay us in gold, he paid us in other supplies.
Give me a deception check.
I hope I roll well on this. I do not roll well with this guy.
I hope
Yes!
you're on it too.
19!
Okay, looks and goes. Okay. I mean, sure.
Wait, are you even with me, Charlie? I didn't know he was with me.
I'm not.
No.
I just said I hope you made it, because
Oh, okay.
So he looks and goes, Well, there's a lot here. Give me a minute. Let me figure out how much I can do. I gotta check out how much I actually have. So he kind of goes to the back room, leaves you to the front. He's trusting you. Comes back and goes, okay, for about half your stock, give you 500 gold.
For you just have to stock there's only 500?
Goes, yes.
I'm sure you can do 525, I mean,
520.
it is quality goods, and they're already in their own, packages. And it's all already ready to go. You can turn this around, quick profit there. Totally worth it.
Make a solid argument. A lot of the work has been taken out already for me. Sure.
Can I roll an insight to see if I'm getting a good deal?
Yeah. If you want to get the feel of how he was talking, in the offer and whatnot.
I think
It seems like a great deal.
Sure. 500 gold?
525.
Oh, 525.
He accepted. You made a good solid argument for him, so here,
We
525.
was just laughing on the inside, knowing that was worth 3,000 G.
Well, I mean,
How much is it?
this is all. This isn't like potions and whatnot. This is all ingredients he's got to mix and create and spend magic
know,
into and infuse.
I'm just trying to scare Luke. That's all.
Yeah. He smiles at you, give the big old tiefling smile, and he goes, pleasure. I mean, is there anything else you need to purchase while you're here, possibly, or?
What you got there? It's something of usefulness to me.
So I always have potions of healing. If you're interested, I got 3 of them. I made up in the last week or so. I have one. He goes, kind of pulls it out. It's a little bit bigger of a bottle. So I have one greater, if you're looking for it. Addition to that, give me a second. I will get you an actual thing. See what else he's got.
I would like to know what he's got. If I'm going to be purchasing shit.
Load. It's broken. Load the other one. The one thing I didn't open for today. Okay, so he has if you're looking for the interesting stuff, I have potion of fire breath. I have a potion of frost giant strength. Potion of growth, an oil of slipperiness.
What can I use an oil of slipperiness for?
So an oil of slipperiness. Give me a second, I will give you
It's like slick shoes in the Goonies.
Yeah.
How much is that?
So oil of slipperiness is 403 gold. And
How much are we talking here for?
So you can apply it. You can cover a medium or smaller creature with all the equipment and everything they're carrying for 1 vial. It takes 10 minutes to apply to a creature, and they gain the effects of freedom of movement. This freedom of movement spell for 8 hours. Alternatively, you can throw it on the ground, and it covers a 10-foot square as if they had the grease spell effect for 8 hours.
So nothing could just run. So if I was being chased by, let's say, a group of horses run by Raxus, I could throw it on the ground and be like, bye.
Well, the grease spell itself, I'll tell you what it does. So, grease spell appears. Each creature standing in it must succeed on a dexterity saving throw or fall prone. Creature that enters the area or ends its turn must also succeed on the throw. So basically, if they make the save, then they're fine. They'll keep going through it.
Is this a rare potion or is this an uncommon potion?
I'd have to look at my Xanthars for that. I think it's uncommon.
For 400 gold, I don't think it's quite worth that much there. Maybe like I don't know, 375 would be worth it, but 400, I think I'll pass on that deal.
Persuasion check.
But next.
It is uncommon.
I'm not buying it regardless after making that argument.
Yeah, he looks and goes, no, the best I can do is the 403. Takes a lot of time and effort.
I know. It's thanks for your time and thank you for doing business with me there. Shadowguard, of course, always appreciates it.
Problem, if you come back in a week or two, might be able to buy the other half.
Oh, I'll be stopping back in here very soon.
Sounds good.
I tip my hats. or whatever to him, and
Goes-
then I leave.
Come across anything else that you've... And he kind of mentions you walk out. Come across anything else that you steal that I can use, let me know.
He said steal.
Mm-hmm.
He knows. How did he know it's such a high
Everybody
charisma
knows.
It's a tiefling, man. Tieflings have that great insight.
Oh yeah, you got it, buddy. Let's leave. Go back to the cart and go find out.
Okay. All right, what is everybody else doing?
I need to buy arrows.
Okay. There
Same
is
here.
a standard general store. It's ran by a human who is wearing a very obvious wig. They see you come in to go, welcome, welcome. If you need something, help with something, let me know. They kind of just ignore you and let you go about your business. You sure you guys just need just arrows?
So, I guess, how many arrows are you looking for, El? Because I've got a quiver where I can actually hold quite a lot.
I mean, I have 5 left, so like 20, 30.
See, I'm just saying.
Her normal quiver can hold 20.
Oh, okay, then do.
Yeah.
That's basically the standard quiver size, so.
Then 15 more, I suppose.
Well, I mean, you can buy. I mean, you can have like bundles. It's kind of what you're buying. You're not buying like a quiver. You're buying a bundle of arrows that you can like store in like the cart and stuff like that.
It's
Each
like 20.
every set of 20 in a bundle is 1 gold for 20. So you can buy like 2-3 bundles if you want and store a couple in the cart. And that way you spend like 3 gold.
So the idea is you have your quiver right at hand, and then the bundles are set aside.
Yeah.
Mhm. Okay, yeah. Then I'll buy like 3 of them.
Okay. So it's 3 gold. You can restock yourself up to. You can restock yourself to 20 arrows, and then what the extra ones you have for now will be like quivers in, the cart. And then you, Glad, how many are you gonna buy?
So I actually realized I don't need to buy any because I've got 52 out of 60. So
Okay, Glad's like,
they've
I
been
need
good for a
some.
while.
I'm running low.
You're like, you've got 3 bundles right there. You never know when you're gonna run out.
Yeah. Okay, so you buy those, and Magnus.
Yes.
Anything you want to do in town?
No, because I came prepared. I still have 8 rations left, and 4 potions of healing.
So how many rations have you gone through so I can mark them off?
I mean, in the entire run, it's gonna be 14 to get there. So, I mean, right now it's probably somewhere around 9 that you've done. So if you need any more than that, you can buy some now. It is 1 gold, or it's 2 gold for 1 ration. I'll have to look it up again. Rations 1 a day is 5 silver pieces. So for 2 days worth of rations, it's 1 gold.
How many rations do I have in my general store?
You did steal a bunch. I would say you probably have somewhere around 50 or so.
Okay, I don't need anything then. I'm good. I will still try to find Elle though.
Okay. So, yeah, I mean, you probably catch her, like, you're going through the rummaging, and Elle's on her way back to the cart when you see her.
Oh, hey, out there. How you doing? So do you have a moment to speak in private there with me?
Sure.
Should I take my headphones off?
No. You
I'm
be good
gonna.
about it. It's nothing. Maybe you want
I'll give you a thumbs up when they're done.
Okay.
So Elle, there. So there's this guy here named, Wheatons, or I can't remember what his name is there. Anyway, he's the guy at the alchemist shop there. He'd be kind of interested in buying anything that you might have acquired with the sticky fingers there. It might be a good price for it too, if you're interested in unloading that guilty conscience of yours.
I think that I'd rather have Magnus check out what I've got and then see if we can use it for anything, that would be worth stealing it for instead of selling it for now.
Just to let you know, you could make a a tidy profit there and use that gold for other things that you might not be aware of, such as anti venom, or if you need to buy arrows or swords or armor pieces, or let's go on listing a whole bunch of stuff you can't use potions for.
All right, I'll think about it. Thanks for
Let me
letting
see
me
what
know.
kind of price he gives you there anyway. So, what'd you buy?
Well, I got arrows.
Oh yeah, how's your price on those arrows?
1 gold for every 20.
I could have given you a good deal of 5 silver per bundle of arrows. So next time you need them, just let me know.
All right.
As I go back to my little.
As he walks away, L just standing there confused. All right.
So I just go walk back to the cart. Oh, hey there, Magnus back at the cart.
I don't know. It depends. What's inland wall? Is there a mortuary?
Yes, this is yeah, I mean, there's basically one in every single town.
Is there a mage school or a wizard tower?
No, there would not be in this one. What you see in this town is a jeweler's. There's a blacksmith. There is also an alchemist. There's one town, which is a wink and a pause. And
That's the tavern.
yes, is named a wink and a pause.
Cute.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a jeweler, a blacksmith, and an alchemist that are here.
I would have gone to the blacksmith to see if he could. Wait, this isn't our final destination, right?
No,
now, right?
it's not. You have one more town to go.
So I'm at the cart. Magnus is probably sitting on the cart, sketching the venom sac and fang in his notebook.
Okay. Taking a couple notes. Okay. If nobody has anything else to do in town, what I'll do is I'll kind of set up the next little thing we're going to be doing. We'll take a quick break, and then we'll come back and we'll see what happens after that. So, anybody have anything else they want to do in town before I kind of do a quick little narrative?
Nope.
Okay. I have one question. Who is driving the cart for the next little section?
I would say probably me.
Okay. Magnus,
I want join them. Shotgun.
That's fine. Magnus, I want you to just give me a standard survival check.
For driving, can I use my?
In this case, this is nothing that have to do with driving. It's because you're the driver and has to do more with stuff outside of
navigating and stuff.
Outside of navigating, yes.
I see. Well, and also to be honest, my land vehicles is +3, and so is my survival, so it doesn't matter.
Okay, perfect.
Ooh.
So, you guys travel for the next 2 days or so. As night starts to come, you guys get ready to settle down. When you kind of come around the side of the mountain, and you see a familiar building. You've been there once before, and it wasn't the most friendliest of welcomes. As you get ready to go by the Admiral's Arm, the place you met Eleanor. So,
Oh, fuck that place.
we will be back in 5 minutes or so, I'm guessing. And then after that, we will see what happens as the group goes by the Admiral's Arm. So stay tuned. We'll be back. we are back. I had to unmute myself so I can actually talk after switching the transition. So yes, we come around, Magnus, later on in the evening. As you turn the corner, you see a familiar sight. The Admiral's Arm. Ransack, in shambles. Not the beautiful inn that you saw when you first arrived, which in that case was actually a mirage anyways, or an illusion. It's a late
Is
at
Luke
night.
awake?
Yeah, I think everybody in this case is still awake. It's not the point of where you guys are getting ready to go to sleep yet, but you're getting to the point of we need a rest soon. Jericho's been going for a while. He's definitely tired, heavily breathing. Just kind of bad luck that you come around you come this close to this place at a time to rest.
Magnus, you know what would make this night perfect? A bonfire.
Magnus is like, huh? Like he's kind of like in like road trance, like bonfire.
You know,
what?
a bonfire. If you burn this building down there, that'd make a great place to stay next to, right? A giant burning building.
So I think that's the first. When you say that, that's the first time that Magnus even notices we're coming up on the Admiral's Arm, and he's like, "Oh,
I didn't even realize we were coming by this place. It's almost like
I think we should burn it to the ground there.
Magnus kind of looks up and down at this like towering, kind of rotten, falling apart, dilapidated structure, and it just like sneers like, ugh.
I surprisingly, Luke, tend to agree with you.
So the real question is, you want the honors this time, or shall I take the glory?
I think Magnus is like,
Let me help you.
and then he like makes a few like somatic symbols rather, and like reaches out and touches you as he says like an incantation, and you feel like the dragon power
I'm gonna go with fire.
coursing through your body.
Okay.
I'd be like,
So, as you're walking up, that's what you're just you're just shooting fire.
I'm not going to that building. Walking around going, fire.
Okay, so Glad and Ella, you guys. I mean, I'm assuming one of you is at least inside the cart, or you guys up like on top, like because I mean, this has been a long day, bumpy roads, not the greatest conditions. It's still late at night, and you guys are all awake. You actually should have 2 spells. Magnus, remaining, not 1.
Oh, we got a long rest in, right?
Yeah, you got a long rest in from the last time you dealt with the face spiders in the town.
That's
You
right.
rested.
I want to fix that anyway, so it doesn't auto roll the damage in there like that.
Okay, yeah, it makes no sense for yours to do it. So, so Ella and Glad, where are you guys at?
I think I was like resting inside the cart? Question mark.
Yeah, you could definitely still be recuperating. Like you're back to full health, but you're like the poison itself is still, tiring. Your character is still resting within, just regain your strength. Get back to full strength quicker, in a sense. So Ella's inside, resting. Glad, where are you at?
I'm probably watching the cart. More outside, sitting on top, just taking a minute by myself.
Okay.
Glad's
So
probably sick as fuck of all of us.
Mhm.
Glad had no idea he was signing up for a bunch of dramatic, complaining idiots that don't know how to fucking do anything.
Every day I wake up and I'm like, are these guys really professionals? Like,
Hey, chaos is a profession, okay?
Okay, so yeah, Glad, you're kind of maybe laying there relaxing, and you start seeing these spurts of fire into the air as
And you hear, fire, fire. They just yell fire.
in Draconic, since that's what you speak when you have the dragon head on.
Just making onomatopoeias.
Yeah. So, I mean, the cart, I'm assuming, stops to let Luke off as he's walking. Are you walking towards the house then?
within whatever amount of range, 15 feet away.
15
from it,
feet.
Start burning it to the ground.
So yeah, I mean, you're on, the way, and you hop off. You start walking towards it, and as you do, you hear this loud, just scream in your ears.
Oh shit! As I said, oh shit! Well, spitting fire still.
Yes, and I mean, you hear it when you you get ready to spit the fire. You're not close enough to it yet. You're maybe 20 feet. Like you get another 5 feet or so forward, but that same thing, that scream once again, just echoing in your ears, coming from
Still
the
burning
building.
this bitch down. I imagine the building is alive and it's not happy I'm burning it. That's what I think is happening.
Okay, so Luke is still moving forward. What are the rest of you doing? You all hear this just loud, massive scream that's getting louder and louder.
Die.
Probably Luke.
God's still laying back. Like
So wait, we all hear the scream?
you all hear the scream, and as I said, it gets louder. The closer Luke gets to it, just
I don't like.
so yeah. Elle, you like your eyes are closed in bed, and you open them up to hearing this scream.
So Magnus is gonna turn back and look at Glad and be like,
Look, Claude, there's something you should know. We've been here before, and it did not turn out well.
This is the first time you're telling me of this.
I'm sorry, I didn't even realize it until just now. Just a moment ago, anyway. But,
and then I'm like,
just Luke, come back! Don't go in. We should leave here.
I'm burning this building down.
Luke is taking that last step forward. As like you're like, Luke, come back, as we watch as this ghostly figure of a woman with white hair comes like up from the basement and out through the wall right in front of you, Luke.
I wave at it and then continue burning the building
And we're
down.
going to
further
roll
away.
initiative. Let me switch the screens here. The Admiral's Arm, which I have prepared for this situation, roughly-ish. Yes, I didn't actually put Glad on here, but So, it is something more closer to this, to be more correct. So it's like here. Madness, you're like there. The horsey's over here too. Elle, you're in the back of the cart.
we need to get a stagecoach token.
I don't have one, man, but yes, I agree.
That cart doesn't do us justice.
Did you say white hair?
White hair, yes. Long, white, like flowing hair. It doesn't go anything with the wind. It's just floating every which way around her. She is in a tattered looking dress. And you can
It's
just...
zero gravity.
Basically, yes. It's exactly what you see.
Does
And
she look like Eleanor? Does she look like Eleanor?
she does not.
Okay.
No, that's no problem. So, Luke, you're actually somewhere around here, Luke, just to clarify. You're like here, because if you're trying to get within 15 feet, you're, she
That
is
within 50 feet. Sure.
is here, literally coming out of it. That's going.
Oh, it's just right in the cone. She likes fire.
She comes up, and yeah, she's coming up, and like her face is like melding through the wall right now, is what's happening.
Burning that wall. I'm doing it.
It's fine. Like I said, we will roll initiative.
Can we go ahead and roll initiative now?
We'll go ahead and roll now. Go ahead and, if you have your tokens out there. If not, Glad, pull yours out and go and put yourself on the cart also.
Thank God for Glad. Shit.
I just I'm gonna do it manually this time around. No big deal. Oh, I just closed it. Dang it.
I never roll good initiative. I always roll terrible on skill checks and initiative.
I rolled a 3 if it makes you feel better.
A little bit. So we got Glad, Luke, Elle, me, Wraith. Wonderful.
Okay. Glad, you are first. Literally, her head right now is the only thing through the building, like just her face itself. So she has 3/4 cover from you.
So, let's see. Time for some fancy abilities. $100.
Okay.
Third level.
Okay, give me a second here. I will
Make sure the
read it.
range- Okay, yeah, I'm in range. Just to see if I need to move first.
Alright, so you gain the ability to appear to creature magically discern how best to hurt it. As an action, choose one creature you see within 60 feet of you. You immediately learn whether the creature has any damage immunities, resistances, or vulnerabilities. Yes, she is resistant to acid, fire, lightning, thunder, bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing from non-magical weapons. She is immune to cold, necrotic, and poison damage. And what else do you learn? Vulnerabilities. She has no vulnerabilities.
Well, guys, I hope you either got fire or magic weapons, because
So wait, now did you say fire? Can you repeat that?
It says, oh yeah, no, yeah, she's resistant to acid, fire, lightning, and thunder. She, those just in general, and then she's also resistant to bludgeoning, piercing, slashing from non-magical weapons.
I was just
But not
thinking
piercing, right?
immunity
Bludgeoning
list. that
Piercing
fire
is
was
just non-magical piercing.
Is my
on there.
weapon
So pretty
considered
much
magical?
everything but magical weapons.
Your weapon is magical, but
Or radiant.
Yes.
you do thunder damage typically too.
I do normal damage plus thunder damage.
Yes. So the piercing would do full, the thunder would do half. Okay.
So, and then
Ooh, that means.
You,
Hey, this is a
you
very-
use your action to pierce. Or do you even use an action? Yes, that's an action. So
Yep,
you have your
that's
bonus
action.
action still.
and with that, I am gonna cast Hunter's Mark.
Okay. This one there's a target in here somewhere. Let's give it the arrows in the back. Okay. And that is your turn then?
Yep.
Okay, Luke, as before your turn actually goes, she starts to like speak in a shrill voice towards you. And you hear, you that have known love, I will take it from you. I will make them feel the pain that I have felt.
Points to myself.
Well, you see like the one hand like pierce through the wall and point towards you.
Interesting. I yell at it, "Be gone, wench," in Draconic, which I have no idea what Draconic sounds like. But I'm gonna yell, "Be gone, wench," and blast her in the face with fire. Do I roll that damage?
Yes. You roll a 3d6. I need to make a dexterity saving throw.
10.
I'm looking at the wrong thing here. I'm looking at Hunter's Mark instead of it. DC 14 dexterity saving throw. Okay, cool. I rolled a 7 because I accidentally had it on GM. I'll switch it back to public now. So she takes half of that
Oh shit!
because she's resistant to fire damage. As the walls of the building start to burn a little bit on the sides.
Oh shit! 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Go there, and then as a bonus action, I'm going to cast this.
Sanctuary. So bonus action, sanctuary yourself. You ward yourself against against within range against attack. Till the spell ends, a creature who targets the warded creature must with a attack or harmful spell must make a wisdom saving throw. What does your spell say so I know?
Spell save. DC is 13. Seems low.
Okay, 13. Good to know. Okay. So, as your turn ends, Luke, I'm going to reveal 2 other little creatures that come walking out of the front door as it is now their turn. And they scuttle along. Is there 25 feet or is it... What is that? Alright. As they move out of the building. And then they spy you, Luke, and they start to run. fix where they're at. There we go. I'm gonna make it easy to make sure tell where I can go to. So they start running towards you. This. Okay. I'm gonna zoom out on the stream so the stream can see everything that's going on. There we go. Okay. That is their turn. Elle, you're inside the cart. It is now your turn. What do you do?
I suppose I get out of the cart.
Okay, yeah, so you throw the door open, you step out, pulling your sword out from behind your back. You see a creature's just face sticking out of the wall of the building, of the very familiar building that you recognize, and two creatures are running towards Luke on the road.
Here now?
Yeah, that's like 5 feet of your movement to get out.
Okay. Well, I wait. Can I? There? Is that where I can go?
Yeah.
Okay. And I suppose I'll ready my sword. Can I do that? Is that a thing? Just like
Yeah.
be ready to swing.
So anything that comes with the melee range, you want to attack.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can I dash and do that? Still?
You can use your bonus
Ready
action to
action?
dash, yes.
And then I can still ready an action.
Yeah, or you can just use it.
Okay. Would I make it a 5?
I don't know.
No.
Cover me.
I'll go there.
Okay.
And then already my
Okay, so you're ready for anything comes to melee range, you're going to attack. As it's now the creature's turn, and she looks and go ahead.
You just skipped my turn.
I did. Whoops,
Yes.
my bad. I clicked it when I clicked it. I'm used to clicking it on accident. Magnus,
You don't need
You're
to
up.
go.
Yeah, I don't need to go. I'm the only one that can deal full damage to this thing.
I have a magic weapon.
can you?
Oh, you do? Oh yeah. I can.
Necrotic?
She's
Nope.
immune
I
to
don't think you
necrotic.
can.
Oh yes, I can. Arcane force damage.
So yeah, it's just her face, and she's just her finger, you, and then just right into her
And I'm
face.
just like, "Ah." Bam, bam, boom, bam.
So she takes 16 damage.
Yes.
Yeah, so they all just hit her directly in the face. She disappears for a split second behind the wall, and then she just comes charging out. I'm assuming you do. Unless you want to do anything else, Magnus, obviously first.
I mean, that. I kind of want to.
Oh god. I don't like
Nah.
that.
Yeah, that's a big range.
I mean, I'm just checking things, guys. I'm not giving you the actual numbers here.
I'm done.
Okay, Magnus is done. So yeah, she comes out. Taking steps towards you, Luke.
Why wouldn't she attack me?
She's going towards you. She just looks and goes, "You will suffer. Your wife will know pain. She will become one of us. It'll be glorious." And then she just lets out this ear-piercing shriek. The same one you heard before, just louder this time. Just, "Ah!" I need every single person that's within 30 feet, including you, Glod.
Is that a harmful spell?
It's not targeting you directly, it's an AoE spell. So, because you're
any harmful spell.
that creature within range, until the spell ends, any creature who targets you, it's not a targeted spell, it's an AoE spell. It hits everybody. So in this case, the Sanctuary is not affected on that.
She's doing it to specifically hurt me? 'Cause I was listening.
Well, she gets close she can, and she just lets out this massive wail. I need everybody to make me a Constitution saving throw, please.
It was nice knowing you all. I'm about to go on crutches here.
Oh no. Well.
Nope, look that. I'm good.
I can... Not my strongest.
This got so much more dangerous.
Not for me.
So Luke and Magnus, you both take 10 psychic damage.
Woo!
Ooh, buddy.
L,
I'm...
you drop to 0 hit points.
What?
So L, you watch this is shrieking. L grabs her head and just starts screaming in pain and collapses and falls unconscious onto the floor.
Fuck.
Glod, you see the same thing. Glod's ears, he's holding as tight as he can, falls face onto the top of the cart.
God's prone.
Glod is unconscious also at 0 HP.
Oh my god.
Oh shit. We're boned.
You're not.
It's having a wipe.
They don't make dex saving throws because they're just unconscious, but they are at 0 health points.
Are they dead?
This is the battle murder episode, isn't it?
Are they
This
dead
is the
dead,
best
or
music
are they
for it
mostly
too.
dead?
That is her turn.
Are
Glod,
they
you're
dead?
unconscious. Only way for him to get up is some kind of magical healing to bring him back. Luke, you are up.
Man, could
Which
I
your hunter's mark
possibly make
falls
my
off
way-
of her.
Can I possibly go revive Elle with a health potion?
Yeah, as long as you don't make
And not break Sanctuary?
it only breaks things if you make a harmful attack.
Okay. So I'm gonna take that 1, 2, 3, there. Give her a health potion.
Okay. So use your
and then
action
go
to do that.
1, 2. Go there.
Mhm.
And is it an action for
To feed someone else a potion, it's an
Or is that a
action.
bonus action.
It's a bonus action if you do it to yourself. It's an action to feed someone else.
So I give her a health potion.
Mm-hmm.
And then just be like, good luck.
Roll a
And run away.
2d4 plus 2 for her Luke.
Ugh, not good.
You heal for 5 L as you're prone on the ground, but you regain consciousness.
And I started.
Okay. You begin to run. So. Oh, I can't make it. They can't make it to her yet. So yeah, one of them, well, I mean, they can dash. So one comes dashing towards you, Luke, and is like running towards you as the other one uses dash action to run towards L. And that is their turn. L, you are prone on the ground. What do you do?
I get up. 15 feet, is that what that is?
He's 15 feet to get up. It's half, your movement.
Cool. And then I swing my greatsword at the thing beside me.
Okay.
Because fuck
Murder in
you.
the thick of it.
It does not die. Yeah, you
That's
slice,
pretty bad,
you slice into it and you lop off one of its arms and cleave into its side, and just take a bunch of flesh from its chest. It's not dead, but it is not in the best of shape either. You still have your bonus action if you want to make use of it.
Does that include disengaging?
You can disengage. Disengage, dash, or hide are your 3 options. So you can
Cool.
disengage and move 15 feet.
I mean, like, I don't want to. I don't really know where to go.
Pick a direction. Hopefully it won't be bad.
Run to me.
I mean. Okay. Oh, wait. I have to scroll down. There we go. That's it.
All right. So, I think Magnus is gonna hop down off the cart. Now, real quick, DM, I wanted to tell you.
Yes.
I realized that I could totally abuse the shit out of my Staff of Spring Rain.
Mm-hmm.
So the effect should be, or I'm just gonna assume it is, that if I die, it stops working. If I go unconscious.
It's an item, isn't it? It shouldn't stop.
I mean, it's
I
one of
mean,
those. It's one of those
To make
cases.
things balanced,
I mean,
it should be that way.
Arguably in the same sense, I would say if you're continually getting up for 1 HP and then dropped instantly again, you're gonna eventually start suffering exhaustion from the constant up and
Yeah,
down.
Okay, if you
I
want to
think-
do it that way too.
I'd rather do it that way. I don't mind if you want to continue, like, just try to pray that you're staying up. But it could in the
either
long.
way,
Yeah.
I'm gonna plant it. Is it an action to plant it? That's my question.
Yes, it would be an action. Yes,
Yeah,
the
it's
very
an
least, an action to
actually-
plant the weapon.
In that case, I didn't realize that. My bad. I'm gonna cast a level 2 magic missile again at the specter. Magnus reaches out with both hands and just like screams an incantation as four missiles fly out. I'm out of level 3 spell slots.
Okay, yeah, you're crushing through though. 6 and plus another 7, so 13. Okay, yeah. So yeah, 4 more blasts just hit her, and you're watching as they hit, they're taking a little bit of her like ghostly spirit with them as they vanish. She's not as whole as she once was.
Fuck yeah. And also, I'm gonna go ahead and let me check. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and quaff a potion of healing as well because I have 4 of them.
Okay. And a bonus action, chug it.
2d4 plus 2.
Yes.
7.
Nice.
So I just like throw back a flask and then just like throw it over my shoulder. And that's my turn.
Okay. On her turn, she looks at you, man, and goes, "You're next," and then flies towards Luke.
I'm boned.
She needs to make a wisdom saving throw.
I'm 14.
You said it was a 13 was your save.
14.
10. So she goes
13.
and goes. Okay, well, she still misses. She rolled a 10.
Maybe not yet.
She thinks about it, and she swings through you, and it just passes through right into Elle as her hand touches your body, Elle. Let's see how it works here. 13. What is your AC?
14.
14.
So yeah, she goes to touch, and you just like Neo Matrix dodges. She swipes through both of you. Okay. That is her turn. Glad, you're up. No, technically, Glad, you're down.
Shit, I forgot Glad was
You
down.
didn't.
I would have helped push Glad if I would remember.
Glad's up on top of the roof, though, too.
That's right. I meant to plant my spring rain to fucking bring
That's
Glad
what I
back,
thought you were
and then-
doing. And you come
I
back
got
at the
caught
end
up
of your
after that.
turn, which I think is the balance part. You don't come back at the start of your turn from the health. You get it at the end of your turn. So you lose that whole turn even if you're unconscious. When you're talking about the balance of it. But yes. So, Glad, how is your dream going? Still muted.
I was muted, but I wasn't talking yet either.
Ah. So,
So, it's, it's a pretty good dream. Remembering some drunken nights I've had, some lovely dwarven women, bedmates.
the best of beards. So smooth
Oh, yeah.
and soft and silky.
That one time I got a real good bath, put oils in it.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And yeah, we hear just a kind of a quick, like, deep breath from Glad as his turn ends. As Luke, there's a zombie on one side and the banshee on the other.
All right, so I grab L and say, "Save me!" as I cast a healing spell into her.
Okay.
So I cast level 1. Boom.
Whew. Hell, you heal for 10 hit points as Luke touches you.
Good
Save me!
You feel his healing powers invigorate you. Luke, do you do anything else for your turn?
Shit. Took a 5 minutes.
Okay, I'm gonna take 2 attack of opportunities, but I'm gonna make the wisdom saves first to see if they get a chance to even do them. So, the ghostly figure first. She does not. The Zambi. God, if he does it, that's gonna be amazing. So it was a whisper, but I rolled a 15, which he had a -2, so he actually rolled a 17. So now I get to make the attack as he tries to slam his fist into you.
Wait, is it?
You have a 14, so he beat your.
15.
He rolled a 17 -2 to a 15,
So that makes it a 15.
which means he beats your save.
My armor class is 15.
No, that was the wisdom save. Now I make the actual
Oh
attack,
yeah. Okay.
which was a 21. So you get hit for 4 as it slams through your sanctuary barrier, and I need you to make me
For a slam attack?
a concentration saving throw, I believe. No, there's no concentration on it, so no, you're fine. The spell stays. So you take 4 damage as it lunges and hits you once, and now it's the creatures. Now it's their turn, Luke. It charges towards L because she's now the closest one. It makes an attack versus UL. 19, so yeah, it hits Luke and then thrashes forward, stumbling, just like falls and slams into you for 4 bludgeoning. And the other one,
I know, but I can't.
Would
use
you roll
that
me a
without
D2?
being targeted.
Okay. It charges towards Magnus. It like looks. The banshee's kind of like hewing L, and it turns and looks just and starts running towards you, and then dashes the last 10 feet to get up in your face, Magnus.
Oh, you seem like a nice fellow.
It's just really L, it
What's
is now.
your name? I'm Magnus.
He's like reaching out to shake his hand.
It's like swinging at you. L, it's your turn.
How does the one next? Is it the one that I attacked before?
No, that's the other one.
Okay. Well.
Slash this thing fits, if you like.
Hang on. So, if I try and attack the scary lady,
Mm-hmm.
really I don't have anything that'll,
She takes half damage from the attacks. She'll take damage, but she'll take half of it.
It's worth it.
How? Okay,
You
yeah.
do, like-
How's she looking?
She's like some of her spirit has been stolen away by Magnus's magic missiles. I mean, in a sense, she doesn't get tired. She's a ghost. So I mean, their best image is that she's lost some of her like corporeal or ethereal body,
She's not glowing as brightly.
basically.
I suppose then I'll use my great sword on her.
That would make sense since range would be bad. Oh yeah, 25 definitely hits. You do not get your sneak attack because there's a creature within range of you and it. So you deal 13 damage. With half of that, we round down, which is 6. So we round down for you, so we round down for the creatures. Okay, yeah, so you slash through her, taking bits of her spirit with your sword. What do you have your bonus action, you have your movement.
Well, I don't want to leave Luke here.
If you have to, Luke would understand.
So I might want to disengage and run away.
Okay.
I feel like that would be the best for L.
You do what's best for L.
Yeah, disengage and just pop right on over here.
Okay. Magnus.
Okay. Here it is, my big moment.
It's your moment in the sun at
Hey,
night.
how many more turns do I have Dragon Breath for?
It's been 3
It
rounds.
lasts for a minute.
Yeah, so you still have 7
I'm
rounds.
concentrating on it. So. Is this a bonus action? No, it's not. I thought I had a bonus action spell.
I mean, I know Dragon Breath's a bonus action.
Yeah, I thought False Life was too. I don't know why I always think it is, but it's not. Damn it. Okay, I'm actually just gonna cast magic missile at the banshee again.
Okay.
I don't incur range disadvantages.
No, you
right?
don't. It's automatic hit. There's no
Like,
roll.
I don't incur attacks of opportunity though,
No.
because of that.
No, it would only be if like a creature had like a warcaster feat where it can actually react to that specifically.
Right, yeah. Okay, so this is level 1.
Okay. For 9 damage. Okay. Yeah, more spear. Just shoots them out. They fly through,
Oh,
pelting her.
I forgot.
Mhm.
Sorry to interrupt. I forgot to ask. Is Glad still down?
Cloud's still down.
Yeah, I'm down.
I would have actually preferred to heal Glad, but I forgot. Again.
I will go next one. Yeah, I already minus everything off, so.
I am going to risk an opportunity attack
Okay.
as I slip around the back of the cart.
Okay.
If it's a 14 or higher, I'm gonna proc my shield as well. My shield spell.
Let me go ahead and make that roll. It was a 4. So yeah, it swings and it tumbles over as you like then scurry away.
I slink around the back of the cart, hoping that it's slow enough that I'll get a chance to heal Glad next turn, and that's my...
Okay. Her turn.
How damaged is this person looking?
Her spirit is very low, and I think in that same
Like,
case,
is she killable?
she's still up moving. Like I said, there's no real tiredness for a ghost. So the only way you can tell is like her
Could I
spirit is
possibly
diminishing. You don't know.
Blow her away next turn?
You
so to
do
say?
not know. There's no way for you to know that. But yeah, no, she kind of looks at the group and just lets out this terrifying just cackle. Just and I need everybody to make me within 60 feet, which is everybody, a wisdom saving throw.
Yes.
Fuck!
Oh!
Okay. Glad, you don't have to because you're unconscious.
Okay, sweet.
Magnus, Luke, and Elle, you are all frightened of her. You know, you have the frightened condition. You...
Can you attack directly or no?
Hold on. You can repeat the saving throw at the end of each of your turns with disadvantage if the creature is within
Can't move
line of
towards
sight.
her.
Can't move towards
Yeah,
her. I'll give you exactly what frightened does.
Wait
So,
a second
a
here.
frightened
Use
creature
disadvantage on-
has disadvantage ability checks and
Whoa,
attack
wait a
rolls
second.
if the source of fear is within line of sight.
I have.
You have what? You cut out. Do we lose Moko?
I think we might have lost him for a second there. We'll let him come back and ask him in a second.
So keep going with the frightened, please.
Yeah. So yeah, you have a disadvantage on all attack and ability checks as long as she's in line of sight, and
So that's on anyone. That's on anyone.
everybody that failed. So yeah.
Hey! Whoa!
Now you may
Hold
ask a
on,
question.
man. Dude, I'm not frightened.
Why?
You have advantage on saving throws against being frightened. Brave, halfway. I am not frightened. So, fuck you, boy.
Cool. Luke is not frightened. Luke stands strong as Elle and Magnus cower in terror from this laugh. Except for, yeah, so makes a valid point. Your computer froze. It was so terrified that clearly you have to be, you know, you don't get advantage. You get disadvantage on,
No,
cancels it
that was
out.
my fault.
Cancels it out. Nope, definitely not.
Sorry.
DM ruled it. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, I say ghosts. Halflings no longer have that ability. No. So yeah, Luke, you're not frightened, but both Magnus and Elle are. So you cannot Elle and Magnus, you can't willingly move closer to her, and a disadvantage on all ability and attack rolls. Again, checks and attack rolls versus her. I will find a terrifying thingy for you.
Against anyone in her range. Against anyone as long as we're in line of sight of her.
Yes. I'm gonna have her move to this side of you, Luke. And then that is gonna be her turn.
Wait a second. Wouldn't he not be in line of sight at this time because he's behind the
No,
house?
everybody that cannot. It's not. No, that's for the frightened condition specifically.
Oh.
So, it is now your turn, Glad.
Hey,
your dream's
actually, I just wanted to double check. I'm not frightened either. That's what I thought. Don't know why I didn't put this in my character sheet, but gnomes have gnome cunning, so I have advantage on wisdom saving throws against magic. Oh, I guess it's magic, right? Psychic attack.
It's an ability. It's not a spell.
Okay.
So I would say no. That's only for that reason.
I understand.
So
They're still unconscious, right?
God, man, your dream. I mean, the laugh you had, like this like crazed woman with like weird hair that's disgruntled comes like bursting into the bar, and you realize it's your ex-wife.
Holy hail.
As the nightmare begins, Luke, your turn.
So, question: I can attack and then use Sanctuary again as a bonus action.
Oh, yep.
I'm a Dragon's Breath and then be like, piss off, and then crash another mirror on the ground from the bag of holding. No.
All right, so you turn your face or you breathe fire.
On both of them, actually.
Yeah,
including the-
I assumed that.
So what was that? 3d6.
Yep, and I make a dexterity saving throw for both. She succeeds, and the
So she takes
Zambi.
what?
Well, I didn't see the roll for the damage yet.
2 damage.
Roll the
Just 11
damage. No,
damage.
roll a 3d6.
I did.
I don't see
I
it.
did.
I don't see it either. You must have whispered it.
I would
gotta
have seen it
refresh
otherwise.
page. Oh, no, I gotta refresh the page. Just roll a 3d6 for me.
Minus you roll it since it's your spell.
Okay. Deep breath.
I rolled a slam on accident. Whoops. Oh, cool. He also critted. Okay, so it's 14. So they both take half. They both take 7.
Isn't she resistant to fire though?
Yes, so she takes a quarter of that. So she only takes 3.
Okay. Computer's having a hard time walking up, so.
Okay.
You can continue your turn. And then I crash the thing, and then
You cast Sanctuary back on yourself. You too.
yes,
What do you do, Luke?
yes. So, quick question. Dragon's Breath is a bonus action for me to use?
It's an action for you to use.
Dragon's
Okay,
Breath is
I
an
guess
action
I'll
for you to
just
use, and you can still have your bonus action.
Stand
to
there
move.
and be like, "Wah!" Like I'm going to defend myself.
Okay, so you don't have Sanctuary on. I just want to clarify.
No, I dropped Sanctuary.
Okay, you just stand there.
I should be like, "Whoa!"
Okay.
Like I'm looking like I'm defending myself, but I've casted Sanctuary.
Gotcha. Can you adjust your phone
So,
slightly?
go.
It feels like it keeps shifting a lot.
It does. I can't help it.
Weird. It wasn't as bad earlier. You did it only a little bit every so often. Okay, Luke turn ends as you watch as the one zombie makes attack against you first, Luke.
Okay.
19 for 4. So yeah, it comes up
There
and
you
just
go.
slams
That
across.
damage.
I got you on
Oh
that.
wait, did they make it wisdom saving throw?
You don't have Sanctuary anymore, you said.
I said I casted a thing that recasted Sanctuary.
Okay,
bonus
that's fine.
action.
I wanted to clarify that, and I heard you kept saying no, so that's fine. If you have, then I'll make the roll.
You said so you attacked. I said yes.
12 is a fail.
And then I cast it, and it looked like I did that. So he can't
That
attack.
explains
He's
me.
got
It's fine.
else he needs to attack.
That's fine. He goes and runs towards L for the moment. The other one comes around, or comes running towards you, Magnus, and makes it around. You're gonna have half cover on this attack, so you get +2 to the AC on it.
Alright,
As I make
so
my
I'm
roll,
16 armor class right
I
now?
roll 20, which if you use your shield
Hit.
would block it. It's 2 damage. It's up to you.
I'll take it.
All right, can you make me?
You rolled the damage already, so I'll take it.
Well, it automatically rolls, so it's and that's part on me. So if you ever choose, you can.
No worries.
All right, I need you to make me a concentration saving throw for your Dragon's Breath.
I have to make a Constitution saving throw?
Yeah, for
what?
concentrating your concentration on your. You guys took damage, so you have to.
Sorry. Yeah, my bad.
Yeah,
Concentration
succeed,
check,
no
make
problem.
it.
Yeah, so just a 10 anyways. All right, yeah, and then you watch as another zombie comes running through the fire. Comes bursting out and actually ends in the fire. He takes 1d6 fire damage. Takes max damage, of course, because that's how it works. Yes, he runs and he'll take another
Absolute
6d.
damage.
He'll take another d6 once. Actually, no, he can dash. As he comes charging out forward to the middle of the field, looking around.
Is he still on fire? Is he wearing dry clothing?
No, because he's able
now he's just naked.
He's able to fully pass through. Yeah, his clothes have burned off.
He's butt naked.
Yep.
Gross.
Test is falling out and stuff. It is now Elle's turn.
I can't believe last time we were here I put this place out because it was on fire then too. I apologize to all of you. Sorry. Elle, your turn. I'm sorry.
Well, I can't move towards her, so I can't move toward the dude.
That's true, you can't, but you can run to the one by
Move towards
Magnus.
the other one.
Yeah. Wait.
also run this
Moko,
one
can you try
up
turning
there.
off your auto rotate possibly on your phone? That might fix that issue.
Is it rotating?
It's
Yeah,
flipping
I
up and
think
down
it
and
is.
stuff, dude, a bunch. So maybe try turning your auto rotate off.
It's just gonna put me like this sideways.
Now you're sideways.
Now you're sideways, but you're still flashing. So put it back the other way and try like going through your settings. Work on it.
Wait.
L.
There are 3 of them?
There are 3
Now
zombies.
there are.
Yes. One came running through the fire.
Oh, okay.
You can use your bow, or you can run towards the one with where Magnus is at.
I suppose that I'll go over today. Can I make it here, like, using 25? Like,
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Because there's part of that.
Yeah, it's fine. You can go with the diagonal right there. It's not a huge deal.
He's in that space. Like, I won't.
You can walk around them, but yeah, you can't go into that space right there. You have to like use your bonus action to dash to get to that zombie.
Oh, can I still attack that?
Yeah, you have your normal action then.
Okay, so I mix it up a lot, so. I went around him. Yay. And I used my greatsword.
Okay. So yeah, 16. You slice through, and that zombie falls to the ground.
Bye bye.
Okay. You have a little bit of movement left, so you can't go anywhere to the left. You can probably go 2 spaces to the left before you actually can see her again. Because you're in a spot where she's like, the vision's blocked of her.
So like, here? Question mark?
Yeah, and then like, that's about as far as you can go, because then you can see her, so now you can't go any further. If you wanted to, obviously. You don't have to.
Yeah. That's fine.
Alright, so at my turn, I get to make a wisdom saving throw against fright, right?
End of the turn. Elle, would you please make that save also? Make a wisdom saving
At
throw.
the end of my turn?
End of the turn, but we'll have Elle do hers first. Okay, Elle, you're still frightened. Magnus, yes,
Yeah, I
you're,
thought you weren't frightened, Charlie.
he is.
Oh, yeah, I know you are.
So I can't walk towards the banshee, correct?
No.
Correct.
So I'm gonna plant my staff of healing in the ground then.
Okay.
My staff of spring rain. The weapon contains a pool of healing that up to 30 HP. So I have the full 30 HP pool right now. The bearer may use an action to plant this weapon in the ground and release the energy. So a little cloud springs up over my head and technically over everyone's head and 10 feet of the staff.
Okay, that'll be Glad, and Elle is also in range.
Yep,
At the moment.
and
And they get it back at the end of their turn. They get the 1 hit point.
I guess that will be Magnus's turn. So now I gotta make a wisdom saving throw against fright, and I get 1 hit point back
Mm-hmm.
for my staff. No,
You're
I
still
failed.
frightened. It's now
I
her
have
turn.
24 hit points.
Yeah. Okay, so it's her turn now. She's gonna make a wisdom save for you, Luke.
It's nice to know you guys. I'm dead.
18. And then she reaches through your sanctuary and just grabs you by the heart, trying to rip it out. She rolls an 8
yes!
though. As you like
that bitch.
for a split second, you're able to grab it and like push her hand back. You like somehow you're able to push stop her hand from getting to
Wax
you.
off, baby. Wax off.
Damn. Okay. And that is her turn. She just screams in anger. Just.
Up, isn't he? Or they up at the
I
other
really
side?
enjoy that thing.
Yep.
Glad, your turn ends. Your dream.
I know,
Your wife's
but
coming
one
at you with a baseball bat, just like, "How dare you leave me?" Blah blah blah. And then you wake
A
up.
baseball bat, wouldn't it be a club?
No, in this case, it's a baseball bat because that's what I said. Damn it, baseball bats exist. Yes, it's a club. I was thinking of go with frying pan at first, but I decided against it.
I think you should go with pick
But yeah, as she's about to swing down on you, just to crush your head, you wake up with 1 HP at the end of your turn.
By the way, when dwarves play baseball, they use a kobold for the ball.
Are you a dwarf?
No.
Dwarven brothers, maybe? Your mom?
So, question, Aaron, can I possibly deceive this thing into not attacking me
I
by telling
mean,
me how I love?
you can sure try.
Would that- would
Anything
that
is
work?
possible. I can't tell you if it's possible or not. You don't know.
Okay. So, if I take a knee, will I be considered prone?
I mean, yes. I mean, if you're literally going down on one knee, you're prone.
I just like look up to. I imagine it's taller than me, right?
Yeah, she's like she's hovering off the ground.
I beg it to spare my life because I find her so I'm so in love with her, and I'm gonna strip wide and then take the dodge action.
Okay, so yeah, you go on one knee.
Please, I love you. Don't hurt me.
Okay, well here's your options here because you can either take the dodge action, or you can try rolling the deception as an action. You only get one of the two. You only get one roll as an action.
God.
I
Which
didn't
one
know
do you
were
want
a
to take?
kobold.
I mean, you could just say that and then take the dodge action.
I'm going to try to deceive her into thinking I'm in love with her and that.
Okay.
Grovel, cower, and beg.
Uh-oh.
So you say that, and she reaches out. It doesn't harm you, and she touches the ring, and then you die. He disappears.
Sorry. It's disconnected.
I know. It was just perfect time. But yeah, no, she reaches, she touches your hand, and then grabs your ring finger, just bends it, and goes, "The unfaithful will die."
Uh-oh.
I was forced into this wedding! As I say while she's doing that. Which is not a false statement. I am telling the truth so I don't have to deceive her. She would know that.
You still have your movement, Luke, and a bonus action.
Do I have any spells left? I don't think I do. I do. I don't have any spells left. Shit. I guess I'll just be like, fuck this shit, I'm out.
You can tap. I'll make the roll if you're gonna run.
I'm gonna run.
Wisdom saving throw first. 21.
Oh god.
And she goes, "You're going nowhere." And she grabs and reaches for you. 14, Luke. You have 15
My
AC.
AC's... Yes! Fuck that bitch, I'm out!
Yeah, she goes to grab, and she just barely misses a swipe on the back of your collar.
I'm out, bitch! Is what I say as I run away. Please don't kill me.
And she turns and looks at the ones. "Get them. This one's mine." She points to them as the other two zombies come charging forward. The one sees you, Ellen. You're just in range of it. It slams its body into you. 13 and just misses as you deflect its attack. The other one, Magnus, runs forward and takes a dash action. And right next to you. So it comes around the corner and goes to start swinging. Elle,
Shield if I need to.
you are. It doesn't get. It uses its dash to get there, so it couldn't actually
Has to
attack this turn.
dash. Gotcha.
Elle, it's your turn.
I'm gonna use my greatsword on the one.
Ella's just slicing shit up.
Yeah, that you get your sneak attack on that one too. So yeah, you slice into it, cutting through one arm and side of its face just like lops off. It's still alive. It's still moving, but it is definitely damaged.
Potion's a bonus action?
Yes.
Cool. I want to use that.
Okay.
I have one. What is it? What's the roll?
2d4 plus 2.
7 HP.
And I'm good.
Okay. Magnus, you're up.
All right. So even though I'm cornered in by this here zombie,
Mm-hmm.
I am. Magnus is gonna shoot off another magic missile at the wraith, or at the banshee rather.
Okay, yeah, so you like look under the cart and just yeah, mage armor.
Good call on the major.
Sorry, there we go.
Magnus, what is it like when you kill her?
Yes. Actually, I think Magnus is gonna drop prone, flat on his belly, like just like boom, and just like roll over backwards on his back so he can see her under the cart and be like boom, 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 like over his head, shoot out 3 missiles, and they just like whiz around and explode off of her. I like to imagine she gives one last good death wail as
Yes,
she goes out. Too.
she does. So she's like charging towards you, Luke, and you just see the menacing anger in her eyes, getting to swipe as 3 missile, or at least force missiles, come from behind, just crush into her. You watch as they just burst through her chest, just massive holes, and she starts to fade away. And she just lets out that one final last just shriek as she vanishes. Okay.
Yeah.
Deep.
Fuck yeah.
I'm not gonna worry about that shit. Life is good. man.
So
Set
I
fire.
guess it's half movement to drop prone as well, right?
Not to drop prone, it's you can just go prone, but to get back up, it's half.
Or it's a bonus action to drop prone? I thought it was
I
something
think you
like
just
that.
drop prone. I've never known you. In my general, I'm okay with you just dropping prone. I don't.
And so I can just still have my full movement? Is what
Well, you're
saying?
prone, but yeah, you'd get half to get back up to actually do it. Otherwise, it's half movement while you're prone, I think.
I'm just gonna hold my ground. I'm gonna stand up,
Okay.
I guess. And then hold my ground.
Okay. I
Oh,
lost-
sorry, I'll
there we go.
What are we supposed to do with some saves?
No, she's dead.
Because the
So-
creature frightening us is dead now, so.
Oh.
Yeah, so you are no longer really dealing with, that. Okay. So she's dead. Glad, you're up.
I can finally move. So, getting up, I look around and go, I knew these guys weren't professionals.
They're all still up and alive, and you're the one knocked out on the ground. I love it. Well, it's technically on top of the roof, but
I walk over, on the top of the cart, pulling out my silver rapier as I do. And I'm going to try to stab down towards this zombie.
Okay. So yeah, you reach down, you stab, dealing 6 piercing damage to it. It goes through its head. Magnus, you look at it, it's like this, and his tongue gets stuck for a split second. Then he rips it back out, and now he's got a little split in his tongue. Not dead.
Yeah,
Then I
Oh.
just, nod at Magnus, and that's my turn.
nice.
I'm a blast the one next to my buddy in arms, my
Okay.
comrade. Like,
Cla-
thanks,
Cla-
boy. Is like.
Sorry. Glad you get 1 hit point.
17. Yeah. So as soon as she dies, man, it's like looking over you, getting ready to just gnaw as you watch it just gets incinerated by this blast of thunder.
The zombie did?
Yes, as Luke just blows it away.
Nice.
Okay.
Good job.
Anything else, Luke?
Yeah, I guess I'm gonna go run back to the cart. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Diving underneath for a high 5.
All right, it's now the zombie's turn. And yeah, it's still fighting you, L. It's going to make another slam. 10. Yeah, it swings, it falls, kind of exposes its back to you. as it's now your turn.
Well, I'm just gonna use my handy dandy giant pokey stick on it again.
Yeah, and yeah, it exposes back, and you just slice straight through it, and it splits in half, collapses to the ground.
Yeah.
As the fire slowly that started from that first fire breath, it starts to expand further and further through the Admiral's arm. You hear just kind of like that far off in the distance, just like that scream of just pain and anguish as the Admiral arm burns up, vanishing from this world. Hopefully this for good this time.
The
Was it
inn is
gone?
finally fully burning up.
Yes, it is.
Until tomorrow.
Yeah, until next time. So, you guys are around. The Banshee herself has just vanished into a puff of just spiritual energy and just disappeared. There's 3 dead
Is there any,
zombies
like,
on the floor
power
and a
in
nice
here?
burning inferno next to you. What do you guys do? How are you feeling? What do you say?
I got something for this, guys. As I go inside the tiny house, take out a bag of marshmallows.
Magnus is like, ah, yes, perfect. And like, I grab a stick from the ground and impale some
Amazing.
marshmallows.
Nothing quite like a midnight snack,
Okay. I think that is where we're going to end it. With the whole group sitting there with a towering inferno behind them with sticks and marshmallows.
Damn
Oh,
amateurs.
yeah. You took a nap, man.
It was a nightmare.
I had such a good dream, and then my wife showed up.
Ex-wife.
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 In my heart, we're married.
So,
Don't let her call you that.
yeah, right?
If she hears you call her an ex-wife, she'll make you ex-living.
Yes, you will. All right, so thank you everybody for watching. We still have a little bit on the road to see kind of what's going on. Yeah, you can catch me, I guess, at twitch.tv/amelwind. I'm still trying to get in those random weekday streams if I can. I did one this week or last week or something like that. I did it at some point. Still working on Monster Hunter stuff. Otherwise, you can catch me on my same channel at 9 a.m. on Sunday mornings, Central Standard Time, or 10 Eastern. I don't really got too much more than that. I kind of had fun seeing this, and that was scary for a second or two there. So I'm happy
Yeah,
it all
I
worked out. So thank you all again. Charlie, you got anything?
Yeah, I would say make sure you give us a follow on YouTube. The bot just put the link in chat. If you're watching this on Facebook or YouTube, hit the subscribe button. We really, really appreciate it. But yeah, if you can go check all of our episodes out on YouTube. As of next week, we'll be playing on Wednesday instead of Monday.
Yes.
Hopefully at the same time, but we'll let you guys know. So just give us a follow on Facebook, Twitter to keep up with our next session. Thanks so much for tuning in.
At the most, it would be maybe we would start a half hour later, I believe, from at least my knowledge. So between like 6:30 Central Time, 7:30 Easternish. We'll figure it out though.
Let's work this out on stream right now if we can. Then real quick, I would actually much rather play at 8 or like even 9 o'clock, but I don't know if that's too late for you guys.
It's far too late. I work. I have to be in bed like now.
Well, okay. Well, 8 is an hour later. Is that too late? 8 p.m.
It would give us like
10,
2 hours to play, and that would be it.
Okay. Well, then let's just start at 7:30 then,
Okay.
or 7.
7.
Seems
We'll, yeah,
solid.
we'll start sometime in between then. So, yeah.
Great.
Thank you guys
See you
all.
guys next week.
We will see you later.